Welcome back to Stay on Target. I'm your host, Dustin. Thanks for joining us tonight. We got a good episode prepared for you guys. It's going to be fun. So let's get ready to rumble into the show. So we got question of the week, which is the main event, really. And then we got game time. And we'll finish it off with some Holonet news if we have time. I just want to put that because we're going to be having so much fun. But speaking of absolute beasts, you know this guy. You love him. It's been a while, but he is back. It's Dan.
Hey, what's up? I bet you thought he was going to say Nick, didn't you? That's right.
No, I wanted to say Nick actually he forgot to set the timer on his carbonite freeze.
Oh, so he's still frozen.
He's still frozen.
Oh, man. Well,
that's the problem.
Yeah, it's his loss.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and watch last week's episode. Absolutely hilarious, and we had a lot of fun. I think you guys will too. But thanks for being here tonight, Dan.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's going to be a rumbly show, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's going to be.
My stomach's already rumbling.
I think you knew that for your shirt. Look at you. Are you going to be reffing us tonight?
No, I just wear this randomly. It's like every other Wednesday I wear this.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm ready. I need my whistle, and we're going to call this thing. We're going to see what's going on, who's going to win. And I mean, I'll throw the flag. I don't care if somebody's like cheating, Boom.
They're out.
They're out.
They're out. You're out.
Penalty.
Red card, 10 card penalty. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, I'm glad you're prepared. That makes one of us. All right. Last but definitely not least, we have the one, the only, you love her. It's the fact checker. What's up, fact checker?
That one, I wish I had a cool shirt. I didn't get the memo. Dang it.
Sorry, but
your shirt looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
though.
your shirt looks great.
Oh, thanks. But I was thinking, Dan, it looks like you're kind of reffing between Dustin and R2.
You're right.
Is that the real battle today?
Yeah, these two. We got to separate them because they're gonna start fighting each other pretty soon.
We might. You know what? We might. You never know, because that guy sometimes throws down. He throws things. Sometimes he throws ashes at me.
Wow. Yeah, he's not messing around. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's making me a little nervous, actually, how close he is to that microphone.
He's plugged in. That's how he talks to it. He plugs into the microphone.
Is this like his eye? Is he looking right at me?
Yeah, he's looking at you. It's a little, he's old, so he's got cataracts.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of glazed over. It's supposed
like a monocle. Looks like kind of like a monocle.
It's supposed to be, blue or whatever, or like clear, a lens. But,
like glass.
Yeah.
Glassy.
They call me Mr. Glass. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, man. Well, that's okay. You guys just, if you start getting rowdy, I'm going to throw a flag and you're out.
You're out. Hey, that's fair. All right, fact checker. Speaking of flags and awesome droids, Gonkers.
Yeah.
I saved that one. Who's with us tonight in the chat?
You worked really hard for it. It was good.
Thanks.
Well, we have Skylark hanging out. We also have Hannah. I know she said she might be lurking, but
we love the lurkers.
Still happy to have you. And I think Leah's with her as well. So good to see or hear from you guys. Kirsten's been hanging out, which is awesome. She's going to ace those essays and tests.
Oh, yeah, always. You are.
Carla is here as well. And then, let's see, Iñaki. Dan, your coined phrase.
From the future. How you doing, Iñaki? How's the future? What does the future hold?
We went into a whole discussion about that last week as well.
Nice.
We were talking about it because our carbonite freezing that we were doing.
Yeah.
You know?
What the future...
Yeah, because her yesterday is our today.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not confuse it anymore. If you wanted to learn more about it, go and watch last week's.
We also have Bismo hanging out. I think he's excited for this battle and to have Danikin
All right.
back.
What's up, Bismo? Yeah, man. How you doing?
It's good to have Danikin back for sure.
Yes, and we've got two Merkins and KG, and Dan, you're also in the chat, which is fun.
How am I?
I don't know, it's crazy.
Feeling
crazy.
KG. Is this a cage match?
It's a cage match. It could be a cage match. Yeah. I don't know. It'd be a big cage.
That would be ginormous.
Yeah. Is a cage a planet? Because that's basically what we would need.
Right. Oh, man.
So, yeah, we've got the full crew. And if you're lurking, let us know. We'll give you a shout out.
Let us know. We want to hear from you all. Thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you, Gonkers. You guys are gonking awesome.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was going to say, we already have some stuff up there in the theme of tonight's show. So take a look at the poll and fill it in if they want.
Yeah, do your voting now, people, because you never know which way this is going to go.
That's right.
I'm excited to get into it. So I think we're going to jump right into things, people. We got, I'm going to start off. It's question of the week.
Can you speak Bocce?
Of course I can, sir. It's like a second language to me. I'm a
Yeah, all right,
spirit.
shut up. I'll take this.
Shut up, sir.
Luke!
And that question of the week is... It's the Star Wars beast battle. Mythosaur versus the Krayt Dragon. Who wins this Star Wars beast battle? That's right. Tonight's beast battle is the Mythosaur. Carl the Mythosaur, some say. Or what are you calling it, fact checker? The magical Mythosaur?
The mighty Mythosaur.
Okay, that sounds way better than magical.
Yes. Carl the mighty Mythosaur.
Carl the
I didn't know
mighty Mythosaur?
If this is specifically Carl, though. I don't know. Like, it makes me nervous
I
because
don't
if
know.
Carl loses, do we all lose his, lose him in our hearts?
You know what? There can always be an underdog story here.
That's true.
That's right.
You never know. And there's a lot of things about Carl that we don't know, and I'm excited to get into a lot of these
We have a lot of
facts.
questions about Carl. We need to know.
Yeah.
We need to know some Carl questions.
Yeah, especially in doing the research for tonight, I was running into some problems because there is not a lot of information when it comes to specifics on the Mythosaur. So
'Cause it's
I think
so
that's going to...
mythy.
What did you just say? Say it again, fact checker.
It's so mythy.
So mythy.
Mythy.
Wow.
Sorry.
I think that was a mistake.
Definitely a mistake. Wow, that's a good throwback.
Oh, that is a good one. That was a long time ago. But yeah, let's get into things. We were going to try and pick sides here. Do we want to lead with who we're going with?
Sure, I don't care.
I'll
Yeah.
let you pick first.
I feel like I need to learn a little bit more, though.
You want? Okay, we can run through some
or is
facts.
that unfair?
Facts.
Do you go in blind? Like now, I feel like I think it's this, and then once we learn the facts, we see if we want to lock in that answer,
Well,
or do we just learn as much as we can and then we guess?
okay, let's learn as much as we can,
Okay,
and then we're going to go. Or unless you want to just start off,
and then
we
we're
should
gonna
talk about this before.
and then we're gonna watch like a real battle, right? You got
Okay.
one filmed on.
Calm down, Dan. Calm down. Look,
I want to watch this thing.
I wish that would be so cool if we had that. Maybe eventually we'll be able to animate our own. That would be so
Digitize
cool.
it. Yeah,
that
that
would
would
be
actually-
epic.
They used to do that. There was a show that used to do that.
Yeah, the greatest. What was it? The Warrior.
Something, but they did it with animals, and
Oh,
they
that
would
was the
take-
animal one. Yeah.
They would fight animals.
It was pretty
good.
crazy.
Yeah,
And it was pretty cool. They also did like the greatest warriors though, and they take like historical
yes.
fighters
Yes.
throughout history, and then they'd put them. They like take
Yeah,
all that data and then
exactly.
put it into like a fight thing
Yeah,
where
there
what
was
was the
that.
outcome every time.
Yeah, there was some kind of a thing. And
yeah.
there's probably some kind of a formula thing online that you could punch in, stats,
Right.
AI or whatever. They do that for every sports game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Smart. They call it, everything ahead of time. And
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'm
So-
sure as this series progresses, maybe we'll get more and more high tech with it.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Sounds fun. I'm enjoying it already. All right, well, let's jump into some of these facts.
Well, actually, sorry,
Yo,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say, I mean, this was question of the week, and the Gonkers are already answering what they think without
yeah.
knowing the facts. So maybe we should
yeah.
stick with the Gonkers.
All right, let's
make a choice, but
Yeah.
you can change
All right,
after
well-
learning more.
You know what? Let's just lead off here, Dan. Just gut reaction? Whose team do you want to lean towards?
I think I am leaning toward the mysterious Mythosaur.
I like that.
I really am, because there's a lot of unknowns. So, I love a good, not necessarily underdog story, but I love a good unknown battler, and especially in
card,
sports. Wild card. That's
Yeah.
the word I'm looking
Okay.
for.
Yeah.
Yes. So I would just initially go for the Mythosaur.
All right. Well, then that means I am taking the side of the Krayt Dragon. Nice. The mighty Krayt Dragon.
Crazy Krayt
The
Dragon.
crazy
It's the
Krayt.
mighty
I'm
Mythosaur and
sorry,
the crazy
fact
Krayt
checker.
Dragon.
There we go.
I didn't get your alliterations enough times in my head
I
to
know,
understand.
sorry.
you know,
Crazy Krayt.
I got an idea.
Do it.
But this is live.
Yeah.
It's a live show.
You know
what's
how
gonna
you
happen.
do when you roll the dice in certain games, like Risk.
Nice.
You could create points for
We
these
should
characters.
both have dice,
We could.
and
Let's knock off down the list, and then give them we roll for it, and then we can establish our own who won tonight.
wow,
I think we should.
that's getting crazy.
And
but
we'll keep track
it's
of
a
this
live
for
show.
future episodes too.
I just want to roll the dice. That's all I want to
I
do.
want to roll some dice. He's been waiting. I got a lot of dice upstairs. I'll have to
do
get-
it. We'll
I'll
do
have
it.
to- We'll have to get some.
Well, you can be the Krayt Dragon, and I'll be the Mythosaur.
All right,
and
that's how we're going
roll
tonight.
it. Yep.
That kind of works because you're on the blue side, I'm on the red side.
Oh, really?
so-
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, it works out.
Although you like the water more,
Yeah, I mean,
but I mean the Krayt probably goes swimming every once in a while.
but you love Carl.
I do.
You,
I do like Carl.
Yeah, you love Carl. I actually do like the Krayt Dragons quite a bit. Do you? I've always kind of enjoyed. I've always kind of enjoyed their history behind them because there's more to it for me even than the Mythosaur in some ways. So
Yeah, and we saw him earlier that species earlier in the Star Wars.
Pantheon.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially when it comes to Mandalorian, because the cool thing is both of these creatures are shown in the Mandalorian
Very
series,
true.
which is really cool, and we really love the Mandalorian series.
That's right.
KG has a good point.
Yeah.
She said, I mean, a whole race of people built on being warriors has the mighty Mythosaur as their mascot.
That is a great point.
It's true.
You know what? Did we want to run through the list of what they've answered, and then we'll go through the facts?
Oh, sure.
Let's do that. Let's hear the Gonkers first, since they've already been answering what they are going with. And then we're going to go through the
see.
facts. Maybe we'll be able to change each other's minds
Oh, okay.
and duke it out to see who we all think. I think maybe we need to come to a consensus, although it's going to be challenging, okay? That maybe we can decide who it is. All right. Or we might just have to roll
I think
roll
we're
for
gonna
it.
have to flip a
we might just
coin.
have to roll for it. If it's even. All right, go ahead, fact checker. What are they saying? I want to hear from the
All right.
Gonkers.
They are loving the stinger, so good work there.
Yeah, great. Dan busted
There's
that
a
out.
team
That was
effort.
awesome,
There's a
dude.
team effort.
No, it was awesome. I loved it.
But then KG said, obviously, I got to vote for Carl. The
That
Mythosaur.
just tracks.
It does.
It's hard
Yeah.
not to in some ways. We've kind of
Right.
grown attached to
It feels
to
like
Carl.
we know Carl.
Yeah, it does.
Feels like he's a part of the crew.
Yeah, anonymous Krayt man.
It's great, man. Crazy
No,
Carl.
he's Mythosaur.
Wait, not Crazy Carl.
Crazy Krayt.
Magic.
No, Mythosaur, Carl.
Carl crazy? What?
No,
I don't know.
Carl. Wait, Crazy Carl the Mythosaur?
No.
It's the Crazy Crate. There's too many alliterations.
I think it's Crazy Krayt and
Yeah, but you said
mystical,
crazy
mythical.
Mythosaur.
What's the
Oh.
Mythosaur?
Mighty Mythosaur.
Mighty Mythosaur.
Mighty Mythosaur.
Carl the Mighty Mythosaur. I think the Carl is throwing us off with the Crazy
Oh,
Crate.
that's right.
I
Crazy.
think
It's not
so,
Crazy
yes.
Carl. That's right. It's Crazy Krayt and Mighty Mythosaur.
I'm just glad they were able to go on this journey with us.
That's true. That's right. That's
I
right.
think we've got it now. Okay,
Hopefully they're laughing along as well.
yeah, we've got it now. It's
Whatever you
Carl
say.
the Mighty Mythosaur, and
Yep.
then it is Crazy Crate.
We need a
Dragon.
name
We
for
do
him.
need a name. Gonkers. I did not mean to.
Well, we took the Carl out of Krayt, so why don't we find something that starts with an M, for the Krayt?
Let's make it more confusing for ourselves.
Like we have like Matt, but we don't want to call him Matt because
No.
I want to call because he looks shark-like. I want to call him like Megalodon.
oh, there you
The
go,
mega-
like he's a giant, the
Mega
Don.
crazy
like the Meg
Straight.
movie. Remember that Don?
Don. We're just gonna name him Don.
Krayt Dragon.
That kind of works.
Don the Dragon.
Exactly.
Don the Dragon.
I
Don the
think
Crazy
so.
Crate Dragon. That works. All right,
pretty
that's
good.
Don. It is. We got
Carl
Carl. And we
versus
got
Don.
Carl versus Don tonight, people. Carl and Don are out in the chat. They're like, "Hey,
Oh, no.
all right, what are they saying, fact checker, on who do they think's gonna win, Don or
sorry.
Carl?"
I have to write that out.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so yeah, KG said Carl. Bismo is saying he's going with Krayt Dragon. I don't know though; it'll be tough.
He does have a good lore mind to him, so I think he might be pulling on some information that we're going to get to here soon. I like it. Who else? What else? What are they saying? I want to hear from these Gonkers.
Okay, so
Speaking of Gonkers, every time they talk to us, they're beeping, right? Because that's what Gonkers
They
say
would say
gonk.
gonk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making sure they weren't cussing us out all the time. I'm just joking. That's horrible. Totally joking. It's a family show.
oh, Dustin.
Kind of. All right. Go back into it. I'm sorry.
Okay,
It's a live show.
yeah. So let's see. KG said the Magical Mythosaur sounds like a Beatles album. Yeah.
It does.
Kirsten said she's going with Carl. Skylark
Nice.
said Carl seems too chill to smack down a Krayt dragon.
Ooh.
So good point. So
these
she
are
might
good
be going
points.
with Krayt.
Might be going with Don.
With Don.
He does seem to be sleeping a lot. That's true.
Yeah.
Carl
both-
likes his
that's-
shut eye.
Both of them do, though, kind of.
Okay.
Well, from the research. Anyway, keep going.
That's all we got so far.
All right. And I know we got the poll going, so don't forget
Yes.
to vote in the poll so we can kind of get a good estimate of what's
Vote
going on.
now, and then after we read the facts, maybe we'll reset it
And do a early vote and
Yes.
a
see
rigged
if they
vote?
see if they change their minds. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sure Hunter will say something here soon.
Which I did just see Hunter pop in. What is up?
What's
Hunter,
up?
my man. How's it going, dude? Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, see, Tamerkins had the right idea. She said that make a name starts with M, but I think Don works pretty good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, there's not as many M names.
I mean, it came from Megalodon or
Megalodon.
Megalodon.
Which you could
it's
go
just
Meg.
short, so
No.
Could be a
'cause-
female.
Yeah.
we'll call his name is Megalodon. If we just call him Don for short.
I like Don.
Okay.
I think Don just like it kind of goes with Carl.
he's-
Carl and Don.
now he's
like
got to
very
be like
basic.
Spanish,
Yeah.
like Don de la Vega.
Ooh,
Remember that?
Wow.
Don de
Got the
la
whole.
Krayt.
He's a Don. Like he
Are you
is
s-
slick.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I'm not
I
gonna
like
go
it, dude.
farther into that, but yeah.
That's right. That's
De
right.
La Vega. That's from Zorro, right?
That's right, Zorro.
I do like Zorro quite
Yes.
a bit. Oh, that is a great movie, The Legend of Zorro.
The Legend of Zorro.
need
The
to watch
Mask
that
of
again.
Zorro.
Is it The Mask of Zorro? That's the
Mighty
first
Mask
one.
of Zorro. I don't know.
Mighty,
Something like
the
that.
mighty
Mighty
Megalodon.
Megalodon,
my
Mythosaur of
goodness.
Zorro.
Don
Yes.
de la Vega. We're bringing it all back around.
It's the Mythosauro.
So many names.
Yeah, that's right. And then Don is pretty close to Dan, so it's good. It's good.
I do like that. Except for that's your enemy right now because you're going with Carl.
Yeah, evil Dan is AKA Don.
Going against yourself. KG says he's a prima don.
Prima
I
Donna.
like it. Don.
Donna.
Donna. Okay, I thought there was an I there. I can't see
Prima
very well. My eye appointment's coming up
And then
soon. Don't worry.
Skylark spelled out Mega L period Don.
L Don. That's right.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's get into these facts. So we got do we want to do the poll now though before or do the first poll,
No,
right?
no, let's just keep it going. Or, I mean, you want me to end it? Yeah.
Well, because you were going to say that you
we'll
want to
do
do
it
one
again.
before and one after.
Okay, then we'll end it.
All right, we're going to end it right now. We're going to see what you guys think, and then after these facts and are duking it out, maybe we'll change your mind.
Okay, ready, steady,
Steady.
end.
All right, you ended it.
I did.
All right, give
Where
us
are we at?
where are we at, fact checker?
All right, so it looks like Carl the Mighty Mythosaur is winning so far at
just
60%. So
almost the margin of error, huh?
it
That's
kinda
pretty close.
is,
That's
yeah,
a pretty
the
tight
over
race
under.
so
Yeah.
far. I think even after this, it'll be even tighter.
Tight.
Wow. All right.
All right,
Man,
guys. Well,
looking
you guys
forward
ready
to
to jump
the
into
facts.
this?
Yeah.
That's
Let's
right.
let's get ready to rumble. Beast battle, engage. All right, we're gonna jump in. All right, first one. We got the Krayt dragon.
That looks like the Mythosaur.
I meant to say Mythosaur.
Look at that. He's got the right
Carl.
colors too. I mean, I got the right colors.
Yeah, you do.
That's true.
Black and white, baby.
And you got the tattoo
And I got the
on your back.
That's right. The back tattoo. Is that what they do? The Mandalorians do that?
Man, just go with it.
Yeah, they probably do.
Now they do.
Now they do.
All right.
Nice.
Do you want to read off the Mythosaur facts?
Oh, sure. I'd love to.
If you want. I mean, you don't have to. I'll kind of click through some of these photos because I.
Yeah, and then you add into it what you know. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
But
have anything
this
to
is
add.
your side, so I
Oh,
want you to present
well,
them in the best light possible.
That's right. Well, Carl is coming in at a whopping, this says 50 to 100 feet tall,
Right.
but there's a caveat. It's not fully known how tall he is. I remember from the scene in The Mandalorian when he was floating underwater, that probably tracks.
Yeah. If I was trying to do the math
But
on that, and
It's like an iceberg. Like, how much is actually under the water? I
yeah,
don't know.
that's the like what's the head proportion to the body?
Right.
How long's the neck? How long's the tail
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever if it has a tail? So
Yeah.
the tricky thing about this and all the research I was doing, and if you actually look scale wise from her to the dragon, it looks like it's about like 2.5 almost of her,
Okay,
which would be roughly what, like 15 feet.
probably.
So 15 feet for just the head.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, that could
If you
still
extrapolate that
that
out.
could be about 100 feet.
Yeah.
But the other
tall, right? Yeah.
the other thing though, that's just kind of what they were saying in canon from what I
Okay.
could find.
Yeah.
But in Legends and some other material, they say that the Mythosaur was actually the size of a small city,
Wow.
which
That's huge.
That's massive. Like,
Yeah.
so in that one, it was talking about how it was known for its crazy size. So
Okay, so it's possible that it's way bigger than 50.
Yeah.
But if it's a 50 to 100, let's say 100 feet tall,
Yeah.
then you could be, if
Yeah.
you extrapolate that out,
hundreds of feet long.
100 by 100 by 100 or something.
Because like, what would be the
Yikes.
size of a small city?
I
Would that
don't
be
know.
like a mile wide?
Yeah, small city. I don't know. I'm not a
That'd be
city
crazy.
planner, but it
Yeah, I
sounds
know.
like- it sounds like a square mile. is
Where are my
pretty
city
big.
planners at tonight?
They're out mowing the lawn.
That's right. I mean,
Well,
a
we're
square,
voting.
a
We got the
square
city
mile or
planners.
two. Yeah, I mean, if we could look up the size of it, but in Star Wars is different. You know, I mean, pretty much
'Cause-
it could be like anything. I guess.
I'm almost thinking, like,
establishment.
because what else comes to like this size? I feel like there's only a few creatures that are about this size. You got this, the Mythosaur, if it's legend style, which would be, I think, closer to the Zillow Beast.
That's
That
pretty
puts it in
big.
perspective. I feel like it
Okay.
might be about the size of the Zillow Beast, because if you're looking, the Krayt Dragon is pretty similar to that as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So they're all, if you want to be fair about it. So that's the
All
thing.
right.
If it's smaller, I think that's well, we'll get into it more. But here, let's keep
I'm
going.
guessing it's way
it-
bigger than 100 feet long.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
it's like
tall.
1,000 feet long.
Wow, that's big.
I don't know how big was like a giant dinosaur.
I don't
I will look it
Oh,
up.
okay, well,
Like the T-Rex.
but you know, I mean, like long, like with a big giant tail or something.
T-Rex
you know?
is only like about 30 feet tall, right?
It's like 40
30,
feet.
40 feet tall, depending on
yeah.
what kind it is.
I mean, you said
so-
like
Or no, 40 feet long, 12 feet tall? No,
Okay.
I don't know.
You said like
Godzilla.
Godzilla. It was
Yeah.
like as tall as like a. I don't know if it was a 10-story building.
Yeah,
or
right.
20-story building or 30-story building.
It's all
Yeah.
proportionate. It's hard to tell certain
Yeah.
sizes.
So yeah, they're saying Godzilla in the 2014 movie was 354 feet tall.
Yeah.
tall. That's
Yeah.
that's massive.
Yeah, and then he just was a two-legged thing. So if you add the 4 legs, it says here my Mythosaur
sorry,
has
keep
4
going.
legs.
Here, let me.
So it's a quadruped, right? Isn't that what they say? I don't know. Quad something. And he's got tusks.
Here, let me
Dual.
get to.
Look at that. Dual wielding those tusks.
Oh yeah, let me go back to that.
Okay. Yeah, look at that. I would
So
not
that's-
want to stare that thing down.
Yeah, that's like again another artist rendition.
But he looks
actually,
happy. I mean,
theories.
Carl looks like he's doing pretty good. He's just curious, you know?
right? If that's accurate, again, this is a artist
Yeah.
depiction.
Yeah, and it's in that picture, it's actually like 400 miles away from each other.
It's the size of a city.
Right. So it's like, yeah, that's the scale, you know?
The scale there, yeah.
It's not like a puppy dog or anything where it's like sitting on his lap.
And I did get kind of some artist rendition because there's nothing real out there that's that
You're not
really
real, man.
shows
Sorry.
the size. So I did find
Okay.
this artist's depiction. I thought this was actually a pretty good depiction of what it could be. It doesn't give a scale or anything like this,
Yep.
like that. But that's a 4-legged beast. I like the addition they put on this with the kind of the fin tail because it's obviously we know it's underwater a lot, and that looked kind of like I feel like that might be close to what we get. Is this one or there's another one here?
Okay. Yeah.
This is more kind of mystical, like dragon-esque, but I still really do like this one as well.
Well, he's underwater, so his feet have to be able to kick him along to swim. So
Right,
Yeah.
I like the
right. So I feel like it would be kind of a combination between this one and this one.
yeah
Which
that
is funny because that kind of looks like a dragon.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is Mythosaur.
Yeah, Mythosaur, but they're
That's
the
tricky.
only,
It's
so the
tricky.
only actual thing
Is
we've
it-
gotten, and when it comes to like actual, I think Star Wars. I forget what this is from specifically, but this is one that they showed of a Mythosaur. I believe this is Legends material though,
nice.
Sure.
which isn't exactly accurate because that is not the size of a small city. That's pretty small. If you look at the scale,
Maybe that's like a
a baby
seedling.
one.
Yeah, just a little baby.
Yeah. He's
Or-
only like 2 days old.
Yeah, and then the mother comes around and
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
you know,
10 times.
It could be.
1,000 times bigger.
So I think the size is probably from like
Mm-hmm.
50 foot for like young, very young,
Yeah.
small to like I'm thinking could be hundreds of feet tall,
Yeah.
and then hundreds of feet long.
Are there
as
different
well.
subspecies of
No,
Mythosaur?
not that we're aware of.
Okay.
There's only, I mean, at least it's not been said in canon or any other type of anything out there
Okay.
that I've seen. But yeah, so this
Yeah.
is the only real one that.
But yeah,
that
he's
we've
got the
seen.
tusks. That one's got a couple of little tusks, but generally he's got some amount of tusks.
My
and
problem
fangs.
with this one though is the teeth look different in this one compared to
Yeah, that might be like a.
this, because that's more. I feel like that looks more accurate to what we saw in the
Mandalorian, yeah. That's what I mean. That's maybe the other one's like a poser mythosaur. Like he's
Yeah.
trying to look like a mythosaur to scare everybody. And they're like, dude, you're not scary at all.
Yeah, this one looks way more intimidating. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
KG
And it's pretty
s-
massive.
oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
KG said the animated version is in the holiday special.
I don't think that's actually a mythosaur, though, is it?
Oh,
I don't know. It might be
I didn't think that was an actual mythosaur, but
because
I thought that was something else.
I'll look it up.
That was
Right.
Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I don't think they're on Mandalore in that
Oh, it had
animated special.
But I do like the whip-like tail because he
Hannah
can.
Dragon.
Hannah
The
dragon.
Panna.
Hannah dragon.
That's a panda dragon.
It's
Okay,
I don't know.
so that's not.
Thiodont.
Yeah, that's not. That's not
It's
the
not
mythosaur.
a mythosaur. Okay, unless it shows up somewhere else in the, in the distance.
Yeah,
I'm guessing his armor's pretty solid though. That
Looking at
scaly,
this photo.
bony armor. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I don't think anything's gonna bite that thing. I don't think it would be very easy to shoot down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Carl's got some. He's got some Beskar there.
Yeah, you want to keep going through those facts?
That's kind of what I'm doing.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
long whip-like tail. He's had claws.
Yeah,
fangs.
claws. It's definitely got the claws.
He's known for being on water and land, so he's a dual breather,
Semi-aquatic.
semi-aquatic tot.
You want? Oh, God.
Yes,
I didn't vote for you. Don't vote for
you
kings.
don't vote for kings.
Oh, if you get that reference,
right.
you get a Wookiee cookie.
Yeah, so water and land, that's cool because obviously he likes to take a snooze underwater, and then
Yeah, impressive.
at some point he's going to bust out. We hoped he had busted out in season 3 of Mandalorian, but there are a lot of unknowns with this Carl man, and he's very unpredictable. For that reason, he still gets my vote.
Yeah. I mean, I still think with that unpredictable nature that we haven't seen it, the only thing that we do know is that they were hunted to extinction, basically. So that might work against you, but it also might work for you depending on why that was. And that
Yeah.
might also make this, which they thought was hunted to extinction from a warrior race,
Yeah.
that might
Yeah.
make this actually more impressive of Carl,
So
especially.
did the Mandalorians not think that there's any mythosaurs left? Is that why they don't bother looking for them?
Yeah, that they thought the mythosaur was gone.
Okay.
Well, they thought it was hunted to extinction like thousands of years earlier.
Oh.
That's kind of the crazy thing about it. So
yeah, crazy Carl thing about
crazy
it.
Carl. Wait, it's a crazy Krayt.
Oh, it's a crazy
Mighty
Krayt, yeah.
My
Mythosaur.
goodness.
The mighty crazy Krayt.
Oh my goodness.
Regardless, he's he's not extinct. Maybe he's got some babies down there.
Well, that's another crazy thing though, is that it's still alive after that long of people
Yeah.
thinking it was gone. That it's that much of a scrapper and a fighter and a survivalist.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a big plus for the mythosaur.
Was
Yeah,
it in the carbonite?
He put himself in his own version of carbonite,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it could have been eggs that were just who knows how long that those eggs and everything take to hatch or whatever. We don't know the species. We don't know how it all works. I'm hoping to get it in the movie.
I mean, they did it in Jurassic Park, so all they need is one, piece of DNA from
that they pulled from
the amber,
Stone with Chad.
Yes, I'm sure in Star Wars they could recreate these things and make a Jurassic Park with the mythosaurs walking everywhere that they tame and.
Yeah. Also in Legends
Yeah.
for the mythosaur, they said that they would actually use the bones of the mythosaur as like buildings somewhat. They would incorporate the bones into buildings.
That's how
They-
big they were.
That's how big some
That's
of them
crazy.
were.
Yeah. So
And-
city size.
Yeah, city size, and then also they made a mythosaur or a mythosaur axe, which was pretty epic from its stern. I think it was its bone, and it was that durable that they could fight with its bone.
Yeah.
And also Mandalore, I think it was Mandalore the Ultimate made his mask was actually made from the Mythosaur's breastplate, like its breastbone.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
it's pretty cool information there, and they saw it, as a almost like a rite of passage to hunt down these Mythosaurs. Like you were a great warrior, and that was like their warriors thing. So they hunted them basically to extinction, but as we know, they did not.
Yeah, they thought they did.
And they didn't talk a lot about the fighting styles. They also didn't say how necessarily they killed them.
Right.
So there's a lot of unknowns.
I just picture like, you got a snow speeder and you're just like zipping around it, and eventually Luke comes and chops it from underneath.
Right.
No.
Chops it from underneath.
They have the dark saber. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, well, not whenever they were hunting the Mythosaurs. That was actually before they had the dark saber. They were hunting the Mythosaurs when they first got to the planet.
Which was when?
Oh, man, thousands of years.
A couple decades
Yeah,
ago.
and it was actually different. They weren't actually called Mandalorians then. They were called...
Landamorians.
Yeah, exactly. Nailed it. I forget what the name of was, but then they became kind of through that fight of their warrior nature to hunt it down. So
Wow.
pretty crazy. And then it was such a fearsome beast, though, to them. That's why they took on the symbol of the Mythosaur, because it invoked fear.
But they never
And-
captured them. They never...
Maybe. I don't know.
Kept them in captivity or used them as weapons like they do other things.
Right. Not that I'm aware of.
Like other species have,
Not that I'm aware
Like
of.
they didn't ride them like tauntauns. But he says that his people can ride the Mythosaur.
Yeah, they used to ride the Great Mythosaur. Or
Yeah.
tame the Great Mythosaur. Did he say tame?
I don't know about tame, but
But he said ride the
Is it more
Mythosaur.
like Dune where they ride the sandworm? It's more like you
Well-
just
That's
catch
what
a
I
ride. I don't think you're like telling it where to go. I think you're just riding it with your...
Well, the sandworms, they can actually control a little bit which way it goes by pulling the scales and stuff like that.
okay. Well,
There is
then-
kind of a
True.
Formula.
directional thing, and there's also
Okay.
some sort of weird connection if you look into Dune.
Yeah, how they kind of bond with it.
with them.
They were called the Taung before being called Mandalorians.
Taung.
Tong?
Tong. I think it was a
Tong?
Tong or Tong. Yeah,
There
that's
you
what
go.
they were called.
Oh.
Thank you, fact checker.
Well, they
that
improved their
up.
name significantly.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's a tongue twister.
It's very much a town twister.
Oh man, that was bad.
Wow.
All right, well, let's get into this Krayt dragon here, people. I
Yeah.
want you to learn with me. You're going to learn something.
Gonna learn.
All right, we're getting into the Krayt dragon, people. This is the one I have chosen as my
He's a-
champion.
Football player. Look at that helmet.
All right, yeah, we found this. Somebody made this rendition online. I liked it a lot.
That's pretty
so
cool.
We're going to go with this one as the emblem. I think that would be a sick emblem on your arm for Mandalorian. All right, so the Krayt dragon, the mighty Krayt dragon. No, the crazy Krayt dragon. Don, the crazy Krayt dragon. All right.
Yeah.
We're getting to it.
You got
So, tricky thing with this one is the Krayt dragon. They said there's two species of the Krayt dragon. So that's what's actually there's technically kind of three,
Oh,
but
wow.
but we're going with two. There is one. This one that you're seeing on screen right now is called the Greater Krayt dragon.
Okay.
And the reason that one is more in the sand and not so much in the canyons and stuff like that. But it's larger, a lot significantly larger than what they call. I'll show you the canyon Krayt dragon. So this is the canyon Krayt dragon, which is closer to. Here, I'll give you another one for scale. This is the canyon Krayt dragon. So this one, if you're looking at the scale here, I'd say this is basically like a large lizard style.
Yes.
That's it's got the spiked tail that you can see, but I'd say that's a little closer to a rancor in
Yeah.
size for like how
Okay.
tall potentially. It's gonna be longer, obviously, because it's like a lizard. But this is the canyon Krayt dragon. But so there's two species, so that's why I wanted everybody to know that there is a difference between the two. These are more obviously in the canyons and like caves and stuff like that on Tatooine. So
Okay. That's what we saw in Bones.
yes, and that's the thing.
okay.
Those are the bones that we saw was the canyon Krayt
I
dragon.
see.
And all Krayt dragons do produce a pearl, which is very valuable. And you can also use it to power lightsabers. You
Wow.
can make a Krayt Dragon Pearl lightsaber.
Like temporarily?
No, it's
Probably
actually
doesn't-
pretty crazy strong.
Wow.
I think that might be crossing into Legends territory, but they're
can't
super
be as
valuable.
strong as a actual, kyber crystal, could it?
Yeah, it was actually
Wow.
very powerful as a kyber crystal, at least I think in Legends. So-
Wow.
But all right, but the one that I'm talking about, which is actually Donnie Boy, is going to be this guy right here. This is
Okay.
the Greater Krayt Dragon.
Greater Krayt.
And the Greater Krayt Dragon is 328 feet long. And that's pretty long. That's pretty big. Now, that's lengthwise.
Yeah.
But even to scale of the head, it was able to eat a bantha in one bite.
Holy smokes.
It's massive that it can
Wow.
eat a bantha in one whole bite.
Banthas are pretty big.
And they're big. It's the size of an elephant, just so you guys are aware.
That's
Yes.
crazy. Well, speaking of food on target,
Yeah.
food on target, Bismo said, wonder how they taste. Mando helped fillet him up good.
That might be a whole nother segment that we haven't talked
Wow.
about. We're going to have to cover that here.
Oh, okay.
But
Some Krayt
That's a great
meat,
one. I
some
like it.
Krayt meat.
yeah,
Great.
I feel like, well, we haven't seen the Mythosaur meat before, although that does run off the tongue a little bit better. Mythosaur meat.
It does.
Get your Mythosaur meat here. Krayt Dragon meat.
It's got to be the Krayt, something with a K.
Krayt crepes.
There you go. That sounds like a
With
very good
meat.
Star Wars food.
Yeah, kebabs. Krayt kebabs.
There you
Krayt
go.
kebab.
The
There you
Krayt
go.
kebabs. There we go.
Yeah, all right.
That could be
I'm-
good.
Yeah, because there's different flavors. There's different kinds.
There's a
so-
lot.
You can season them how you want.
And we
Season
did
them how you
actually
want.
see the Krayt meat in the
Okay,
show,
I
The
thought so,
Mandalorian.
That's true. Well, that's
They
is
were
it the
taking
greater,
up-
the greater Krayt, or was
That was the Greater Krayt
Oh.
Dragon, which this is the Greater Krayt Dragon right here. But
Okay.
the third species is actually the one that we saw in a Mandalorian because
Yeah.
the Greater Krayt Dragon is this size, but typically the Greater Krayts only have about 10 legs, whereas the one that we saw in the Mandalorian season 2 actually had 16 legs.
Holy smokes! Because they were kind of like little lizard or centipede type.
Yeah, so this gives you another kind of image of what it looks like. So the Canyon Krayt was 4-legged and looked kind of like a dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas
A giant lizard.
giant lizard, yeah, this one though is kind of like a centipede, shark, mixed with like the Dune sandworm.
Yeah,
Again, going back to
yeah,
Dune.
okay.
Funny that you said that.
Huh.
And that's kind of how they played it in this. And there's a lot of similarities between Dune and the Krayt Dragon. But the sheer size of this thing is absolutely massive. Just for perspective, the only thing we saw in the show was its head and its neck.
Yikes!
We just so I'll show you.
That's
another.
all they had the budget for, like, to pay.
I'm gonna get into that too. This is the rendition. The rendition
wow.
they used for scaling and a lot of the shots
Nice.
was this right here. And that is pretty much for the most part what we saw,
And that thing was gigantic.
and it was massive.
yeah.
Absolutely massive. So there's an argument there to say it depends on scale, and that would actually determine quite a bit when it comes to a fight between
Right.
the Mythosaur and the Krayt Dragon.
Well, and I imagine if there's nothing to eat it or be a
Right.
predator against it, it's like what's going to stop it from just
Continue.
growing bigger?
Yeah.
And if it can grow and live in the sand, then it literally has unlimited space to be.
Yeah, exactly. And if as long as it's got food,
It's like a fish, right? The bigger the body of water, the bigger the fish can grow.
Yeah, so that's just its head in the series there.
Wow.
And this is its full body. I mean, that's just crazy in the way they did that. So cool. But yeah, it's up to 16 legs. It's crazy. The size, just the massive scale. 328 feet long is what they're saying that this one is. But I almost feel like it's bigger. But I don't know. And it's hard to tell how tall it is, obviously, because it's got a
Right.
neck and everything. I'm sure it could go probably at least 100 to 200 feet tall if it stood up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that. But then the other stuff, it's got bony armor as well. And especially on its head, if you see that armor plate on its head, and you can't really see it there as well, but here, we'll get to a better image. Hang on. right there, the
Oh,
top of
wow,
its head.
yeah.
That's all bony
Oh,
plate.
man. Looks like an armadillo or something, how they have like the, super solid backbone or whatever.
Yeah, it is. And it's crazy.
So if
And
you try to hammer it on the head, you're not going to get
you're
anywhere.
not going to be getting anywhere. And that's part of its defense mechanism there, is that the top of its head. And if you realize, if you watch the show as well, you see that the only way they killed it was from the inside.
Yeah, right.
That was
You
the
had to
only
get
way
eaten,
they
right,
killed
or
it.
something like that?
Well, he made it eat the bantha
That's right.
with all the explosives,
Yep.
and then it blew up from the inside out. Which, again, we don't know how they did it, the mythosaurs either, though.
No,
So-
no. Was that the way? Was it the Trojan horse style? where
They
Yeah.
could be both Trojan horse style. Who
loaded
knows?
full of
It's not that
explosives.
big, yeah.
And so the other things for this, we're going to keep running down quickly. It's got a shark-like mouth and teeth, and they wanted to play it. Even in that show, they said they wanted to play it like Jaws to show the least amount of it as possible to make it more intimidating, more scary.
Okay.
Both of these creatures, though, do go into hibernation as long as they're fed, kind of, for the most part.
Oh.
So the Mythosaur obviously went into hibernation for a long time, but the Krayt dragon, that's what they were doing. They were giving, they kept giving the Krayt dragon food so that it hopefully would leave them alone. That's what the Tuscans were doing. So there's that. It does have claws as well. So 16
Wow.
legs of claws.
Yeah.
Pretty intense. And also a spiked whip-like tail.
Similar to the
Mythosaur. But the other factor here, which is pretty crazy, and I don't know how it would come into play depending on the armor of the Mythosaur, is it can spit and vomit up acid.
Chemical weapons.
It's got a chemical weapon, dude.
That's crazy.
And if you saw in the show, it just straight up melted those Tuscans, which is absolutely horrible and disturbing to watch.
Yeah.
But awesome at the same time.
Yeah, KG said that episode 9 was her favorite, except for the vomit part.
I forgot that part.
Isn't that
I don't
crazy?
know why I didn't remember that.
It's nuts. So it also spits acid, which I think would come in huge when it comes to fighting the Mythosaur, possibly depending on the
fire
armor.
as a dragon. It can just have acid.
Yeah, so
Well,
that's
because it's hard
yeah.
to dodge that when you're a gigantic mythosaur,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Right.
so you'd have to be immune to it or something.
right.
Tough
It also depends,
Yeah.
though, for the Mythosaur's part, depends on where it's at, if it's in water or if it's on land.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
that, I think, would actually play a big part into this. But yeah, that's a big one for me. But then there's also the scaly, bony armor, just kind of like the Mythosaur, very similar when
Yeah.
it comes to the armor.
Okay.
And it can go on sand and land. We don't know about water because it's Tatooine and there's not much water.
There's not.
So
true.
it kind of swims through the sand.
I think that would be an interesting reveal where the mythosaur goes to the water to retreat, and then all of a sudden the
Krayt
Krayt dragon just slips into the
into
water.
the water. Ooh.
Ooh, and now it's got all those scratchy legs, and then it's like swirls
centipede
around
style.
him, and then it like squeezes like an anaconda.
Oh my goodness! Wow, you're giving me some points here.
I mean, it
I
just
like
makes
where
me.
you-
It sounds like a reveal that would happen. So
That would be crazy, like in our animated one that we're gonna do in the future.
sounds. It does go on.
It goes down in the water.
Jaws.
Because at some point there had to be water on Tatooine, right?
Actually, yeah,
Was there?
I think they did say
Yeah.
there used to be water on Tatooine
But
at
then
some
the,
point.
the Krayt dragon
Kind of
drank
like
it all.
It's like Dune again.
Yeah,
again, it's
basically.
like Dune. They pull a lot. Dune is very similar to. He pulled a lot of stuff from Dune for Tatooine.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, like a
Dune tween.
Dune Tween. Yeah, very shark-like. We know that there's not as many cases of them being hunted
Okay.
by people because they're so massive and so intimidating. The other thing I forgot to put here is they also eat sarlacc.
Yeah.
They will eat sarlacc,
Wow.
which is nuts. They can also feel the vibrations of ships going by, like that. Also, the other tremors. They're like
tremors.
it's like
Oh my
tremors in a
goodness.
lot of ways.
If you make a bunch
So
of noise, they know
stupid.
where you are.
Yeah, so stupid. That's a great movie. I
Oh,
love
I
that
hated
movie.
it.
Fact checker.
Wasn't there like 8 of them or something?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I
Tremors movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember, but that's pretty fun.
No,
Yeah.
No.
They're
Ridiculous.
good
horror-
movies.
As long as you get on top of a house or something, you're
But
usually okay.
Even still, I like how they played
yeah,
that.
I mean, you're not always safe.
Yeah, Kevin, bake on. Kevin Bacon, baby. But there's also a great concept art right there from The Mandalorian.
There you
of
go.
The sheer size of it and how it's kind of serpent-like in some ways, centipede. Very long, very dangerous. The other part for me that I really like the Krayt Dragon is if you haven't ever read the Kenobi book, he fights a Krayt Dragon. They fight a Krayt Dragon
Yeah, I remember
in
that.
the Kenobi book.
But
And
it was not a greater.
I don't think it was a greater, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have
was
to
a-
go back.
it
It
was a
might have
big
been a
one.
Canyon one. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
That's right.
Anyway, there's two different ones. I'm going with the greater Krayt Dragon, obviously, for this fight because I feel like it'd be more of a fair fight.
Yeah.
Depending on the size, though, I don't know as much about the canyons as I do about the greater Krayt Dragons. And this is kind of like the mega great Krayt Dragon because like the 16 legs versus the 10. So there's a lot of variances in these, which is crazy. But at least we've seen this one live action fighting, and we've seen most of it scale wise. So, all right, that's most all of the details, facts that we have on both of these. So, how are we feeling? Are you still thinking that the Mythosaur's got it, Dan?
All right, we're gonna reload that poll too.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on speed of the Mythosaur. I feel like that's an intangible.
That's
That
also
makes me a little nervous. The Krayt can move pretty quick, and it's a big thing, right? You know,
Yeah.
what is like mass times speed equals winning. No, I should,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
the formula to figure out like
Yeah, 'cause it's
how
not
fast can
always-
that thing get going.
Yeah, because it's not always about how big or how strong you are. It is the speed and how you
Right.
can maneuver.
If you're just a big giant thing, maybe Mythosaur's really maneuverable in the water. It didn't look particularly like it. Looked like a giant ship trying to turn and stand up, but maybe once he gets going, you know, he's pretty
Right.
nimble. But I think it's mostly about, you know, power, and because the Krayt Dragon seems like it would be pretty nimble. So like if the Krayt's trying to like step on it, it's like very difficult, and because it's got all those little feet. Like
Yeah.
if you step on one part, it's got all this other ways of getting around you.
yeah.
But I'm still pulling for Carl. You know, I'm just emotionally attached now.
Yeah, and I think if you want to give more to the Mythosaur, I feel like if you put it in water, if you put it around water, I think the Mythosaur is going to have a big advantage. I really think the Mythosaur would have a huge advantage in the water because
Yeah.
it's more of its domain.
I would love to see a
Yeah.
Mythosaur breach the water
Seriously.
like penguins do, but also like sharks do, where they
Wouldn't
just
look as cute. as a
right where he
penguin.
just like gears up, follows right along the shore, and just goes boom and explodes out of the water
Yes.
and attacks whatever it is that's
Yeah.
out there.
Oh yeah,
That would be
I mean, that would be
sweet.
horrifying, but
that'd be terrifying.
And someone shouts Carl as he does it.
Yeah.
That's what KG's doing.
That's
yeah,
hilarious.
whoa, like Free Willy.
Yeah,
Jumps
exactly.
over.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, so I think the thing we got to kind of have to take into consideration here is there's so many unknowns with Carl that we just haven't seen enough of him to really quantify. But even if you put it at
Maybe
the
Carl
top end,
shoots out.
like you put it at the top end and
Yeah.
you say it's massive, city-like. If it's city-like, I'd say that's bigger than the greater Krayt.
The greater Krayt, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
it could just whack him with its tail.
If it's
and
tail, yeah.
Put him out, right?
Yeah, because the size matters, period. If
Right.
it's just size of a city and it's just too big for the Krayt Dragon to actually take down,
Right?
or,
Unless, even with the size, unless the Krayt Dragon's acid can get through armor,
Yeah.
melt away the armor.
Right,
Even
yeah.
if it's massive, if it keeps
Taking out
going
its
under the
legs.
sand, if it's
Yeah.
on sand or can go underground,
Environment, yeah.
goes underground, jumps up, spits on a leg, dives back under, and can keep like dodging or evading the
Yeah,
attacks.
yeah.
I think that's a really good method, and that's what it's used to doing. It knows how to do it. It knows how to go recede, go where you can't see it,
Yeah.
and then it surprise attacks.
Yeah.
That's what the Krayt Dragon is. Although it is capable of coming out and just being a beast to destroy things, which we did see in
Yes.
The Mandalorian. But they had to bait it in
Yeah.
to kill it. Nothing else was really puncturing it. Actually, no, it did. They did spike it a few times in The
Okay.
Mandalorian. They shot it with harpoons, so things can get through.
Yeah, they can get punctured. Yeah, yeah.
Also
With
depends
smaller
on
things.
claws. Can
True,
the Mythosaur's claws get through the Krayt Dragons? Can the Krayt Dragons get through
Yeah.
the Mythosaurs? I'd say if we put them like even, I'd say the most fair would be put them in an even size because we don't know the full sizes. I think if you made them even for the most part, as much as you could, I think that would be the most fair fight between the two of them.
Okay.
And you have it so that they are capable of going on sand and in water. I think that makes it so much more even as well.
Right. The environment, plays a difference. How can they use their environments to win?
Yeah. And we don't know the attack or defense strategy of the Mythosaur. It could be an evade and attack. It could be a full out like overwhelm.
Right.
It's opponents.
Right. Strike first or just run and hide, or
Yeah. Obviously, it's good at hiding.
yeah. I think they're both pretty
But
good
they're
at
both
hiding.
good at hiding. I think if you forced them, like we said, into a cage match, that's when it gets really interesting as well. You can't use your
True.
environment. You are out
You're
in the
fully
open between the
exposed,
two
right.
of them. The Krayt might go for like a serpent-like squeeze move and use its bile to acid.
trip it, knock it down. Especially, I picture the Krayt dragon being very, very long.
Yeah, me too. Snake-like.
Potentially very, very long. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like in this
To
picture
where it
right
just
here.
literally wraps him up, squeezes it. Yeah,
Yeah.
shoots out the acid, and now the Mythosaur's like, oh snap.
Yeah, what do I do now?
Yeah, yeah.
But if it could get in water, get the acid off of it,
Yes,
that
you would
might
have
be
to
attacking.
roll into
but
the water.
if it's in a cage, I don't know. So we got to come to some sort
tough.
of decision
tough.
here. I think it's going to be very challenging. Also, the Mythosaur might have some abilities that we're not aware of.
Maybe he's like Godzilla and can blast like nuclear.
It might be able to shoot some sort of
Maybe he
beam
shoots
or
the beam, the strength of the Death Star.
wow. I do not know about that. That
It's
might
possible.
be stretching it.
I mean,
It is
look
possible.
at what Godzilla can do. I mean,
You're not wrong.
it's possible, and he messes up some stuff. But that would be definitely a reveal that you'd be like, "Wow, I didn't see that coming."
Could also have some sound ability. It could have some,
True.
shriek, that
Especially
big mouth
if
and
it's-
jaws, the tusks. I wouldn't actually put those. Those are some massive tusks. If you could get, if they're sharp enough, and if you could use those as a battering ram to smack around your opponents and stab them, I think you'd have. That'd be pretty impressive too. Gouge its eyes.
Yeah, those tusks. They're not messing. They're not toys.
No, right.
Tyler Tuskman.
Tyler Tuskman. Yeah, so it's like Godzilla versus King Kong in some ways, depending on how the Mythosaur could probably go on two legs as well. But what were you gonna say, fact checker?
I don't remember now, but should we like make mini battles? So who would win on land and sea
All right, yeah,
and
let's do
different
that. Then we kind of
locations?
justify our reactions. I think water, you got to give it to the Mythosaur.
As far as we know, because we don't know for sure that the Krayt dragon can live in the water or do any damage in the water. You think it could swim maybe, but if it drowns in the water as soon as it gets, obviously the Mythosaur wins. It's just all he's got to do is throw him in the water.
Yeah. So I think Mythosaur wins.
Yeah, in that.
Especially if we're going even size.
Is that Camino where they have it's all the water?
Yeah,
planet?
Camino,
So on
yeah.
Camino, the Krayt dragon's gonna get it.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
sorry,
so.
the Mythosaur's gonna get it.
The Mythosaur, yeah. The Mythosaur's going to
thought you
get
meant
it in
get
the
it.
water.
Get it? Yeah, that's true. The Krayt dragon is gone.
Now, sand is where I really think or even maybe even just on land in general,
Yeah.
I feel like the Krayt dragon, with its
Very
abilities
well.
that we know of now,
Yeah.
that we don't know of with the Mythosaur, but we do know that it's got the acid, it's got the battering ram head, and it can dodge and evade in sand.
Yeah.
and can evade attacks there. I feel like you have to give it to the Krayt dragon on land. So then an all-out cage match, I think, would be the last one where you can't use the elements.
Yes.
What yeah, Pismo. Sand is rough, coarse, irritating, and it gets everywhere. So what in a cage match, though, it really comes down to the unknowns, I feel like, of the Mythosaur and their attack strategies between the two of them.
Yep. I feel like on land in a cage match, I feel like the Mythosaur might be able to get it just by like brute strength. That's my thought.
Yeah.
Depends on the size again. If they were the same size, the Krayt dragon has some advantages with all those legs and the acid because you can't run and hide from the acid. So
Right.
Is the Mythosaur really affected by that acid? I'm going to say yes to some degree. If he shoots him in the face, then that's not going to feel very good.
Yeah, if you get any soft
Carl.
parts like the eyes or anything like that, obviously
or
you can close its eyes.
or
it's
even
probably
a
got scales.
wound, like he scratches you and then he, shoots the
Shoots the
stuff
acid into
on
it.
The, ugh.
Yeah.
You're like really in pain.
Yeah, that's why I
know.
feel like the Krayt for the most part is that's
But if you
specifically
if you take out one of his legs,
he's
now he's
hobbling
now he's
around.
like,
Unless you can go on 2 and just use 1 as like a
Yeah.
he's got the tail, the balance, the Mythosaur.
yeah, it makes me a little nervous in the cage, though. I'm not gonna lie.
The Mythosaur, I feel like, might have a better spiked tail. When we were looking at some of the images,
okay.
I feel like that would actually be, and it was pretty big when it comes to. Here, let's switch back, but that tail, depending on which one it is, there was some that I saw that actually had a spike. Sorry, let me find it. Hang on, guys. That one did not have a spike. That one was, so that one was more like a fin, which makes
fin,
sense.
battering ram.
It's so hard to tell. That is just intimidating right there.
Yeah, it is.
But they don't really show it in this one. Oh, wait, maybe it was this one. Nope, I can find it. See, on this one, it's more scaly along the back, and I think in the zoomed out version, it had like spikes on the end
Almost
of it.
like a stegosaurus, how it just goes like slam. Yeah, it's like spikes on the front with the tusks, and then a big old. That would make sense, like a tusked tail almost.
Right.
Where it could like slam you if you're trying to attack it from the back or whatever.
Right. So if the tail it comes down to the tail, because I think that would be another form of attack that might be able to do some real damage.
Yeah.
Because those tails are strong, and if it has any sort of spike, it's probably gonna get through that scale.
Who has the better defense mechanisms then?
That's what a lot of it comes down to in a cage fight.
Who's
between
better
the two of
at
them.
defending? You know,
Because we know that we know for sure that the Krayt dragon likes to run and hide.
Yep.
It's more of an evading and then a surprise attack. But if you take away that surprise attack, how is it going to fight versus a Mythosaur?
attack,
Which I feel like you're saying, I feel like the Mythosaur is going to be more of a straight on
just like
boxer,
come at you, boy.
dueler. Yeah. Like I ain't taking because they're both apex predators,
Right.
but the Mythosaur has been dominant on its planet.
Well, and again, it depends. If they're the same exact height
Yeah,
or whatever, however that works, then they wouldn't feel that advantage. But if one hugs the ground more, like the Krayt dragon, and let's say the Mythosaurus hangs up a little bit higher, then it's going to naturally, come in at the Krayt, and the Krayt's going to more naturally evade and try and strike from the side. Let's say, or acid it to the face. That's a good defense mechanism, though. They acid.
Yeah.
I mean,
although I feel like with that long of a neck with the Krayt dragon, that actually might, if it's in a cage match, versus a Mythosaur that I feel like has a bigger arm muscles, or leg muscles, and claws, that if it can get a hold of that neck and pin it somehow, I mean, that Krayt might be in trouble, especially if it can use that tail, whip around, and start digging into the head or gouging the eyes or whatever. But
that projectile makes me nervous, though. Because it's probably got some range on it. And, is it like a snake that can like really hack from the front?
Right.
You know how like a cobra kind of sits up? Maybe it sits up a little more and just waits and goes.
Yeah, it might. But Carl has a neck on him too, so
Carl's got that neck.
So I don't know. It's really hard to say on this one. I still feel like
Krayty.
From what we know, I feel like Krayt's taking it.
Okay.
Just from what we know.
Yeah.
But those unknowns, you have to take into consideration that those unknowns and the sheer size that we don't know. And it might have some other abilities, like you're saying.
Yep.
But it was also able to be killed by humans, or not humans with a tongue. Grouped together. I mean, obviously, I wonder how many it took out whenever it did that. But there's so many unknowns. But I feel like in the cage match, I still feel like the Krayt's taking it.
Yeah.
But it's a toss-up. We might have to roll for that one.
Yeah, the Krayt makes me a little nervous in the cage. Not gonna lie about that.
I just want to see the Mythosaur in action.
Yeah, I know. Carl,
That's the biggest disservice for season 3 of The Mandalorian was they didn't, there's two biggest. We didn't get Dimbo or Bowden. But the second one was the fact that we didn't get the reveal of the Mythosaur going full beast mode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't even see its full body. We see it kind of turn in the water.
Yeah, but it's very shadowy.
So hard to tell. Yeah. And you just get the giant eye, which was pretty massive too. So,
But Baby Yoda was talking to it, or at least sensing it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It might be more intelligent.
Yeah,
we
it
didn't talk about
It
intelligence.
might be able to mentally do something to the Krayt dragon, or
That's true.
some force wielding ability, or some kind
oh
of
my
a
gosh.
pulsing energy thing that just,
Yeah.
it harnesses the dark side, or I
It's
don't
a
know.
dark side beast. Oh, that would be crazy. But I feel like it might be smarter though.
Yeah, I
than the
get that.
Krayt.
I guess that remains to be
For the
seen.
fact that it was been able to he got it to
Survive.
believe survive
Here.
that long.
I also just had a thought. I because they keep showing the Krayt or the whatever's eyes, the Mythosaur's eyes. I'm guessing that it has better vision because the Krayt's constantly living under the sand and blah blah blah. And,
it has better it might have better senses though.
It might
Vibrational.
vibrational physical. Yeah, that way. But I'm guessing the as far as vision goes, like the Krayt attacks and hunts based on feel and sounds, and the Mythosaur would maybe be more on sight and that sort of thing.
Well,
so there's
and
a little bit of a
Well, what wins out in a lot of fights? It's not brawn. It's actually brains.
Yeah.
That's a huge element we didn't talk about yet. So based on that puts things, I think, even more even because if you can outsmart your opponent,
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah,
they fought the Krayt dragon and won
Yeah.
because they outsmarted it. What's to say that if the Mythosaur, who might be more intelligent, it sounds like it, might be able to take out the Krayt dragon?
Yeah. It's very possible. I'm still voting for Carl.
All right, well, it's pretty close here. I think we've done the best arguing we can in this versus. For me, I feel like the Krayt is taken most for what we know now, but I think those unknowns you cannot, for the Mythosaur, you can't just put those away and say that's not a factor because that's definitely a huge factor. Plus, its intelligence kind of convinced me in some ways that actually might be the deciding factor for its ability to learn and adapt, whereas I feel like the Krayt is more just brute force, not as much brains. I mean, it's still smart, but anyway, more just natural instinct, the Krayt dragon versus maybe a beast that can learn and adapt, and obviously had a connection with Grogu, so that's interesting. All right. Well, we might just have to leave it up to the Gonkers and the poll here. So what's everybody saying on the poll now that they've gotten the full, very long rundown on facts and
The full breakdown.
discussion on what we think. Are they Team Krayt or are they Team Mythosaur? That's kind of hard to say because we do have a special place for the Mythosaur.
And the Mandalorians are involved with the Mythosaur specifically.
It has kind of a cooler backstory.
It does, and then literally our Mando with the Mythosaur logo, and didn't Bo get that or whatever, the signet or whatever?
Yeah, she did. She did end up getting the signet,
Right.
the Mythosaur signet, which is iconic.
So now you've got that tie into it, so it's hard to not root for the Mythosaur from a current lore perspective. Yes, but the Krayt's pretty nasty. I think he's not a sleeper. He's a tough one to beat down.
I think it's a pretty fair fight for the most part. I think it's pretty fair. I feel like maybe in this fight scenario, if you put it a cage match, I feel like maybe 6 out of the 10 times the Krayt might win. But I don't know. It could go either way for me, depending on what we've talked about here. But we also love the Mythosaur. I want to give it to the Mythosaur in some ways just because we like Carl so much.
Yeah, and we just need to see what that Mythosaur is really made of.
Yeah, and the mystery behind the Mythosaur is what's that.
He might come out and just
interesting.
destroy everybody.
It might just be like one and done. Like the Krayt might snap at him. He just takes a giant clawed hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Swipes it across the head and beats it to death or something. Who knows?
Or picks it up and just chucks it as far as he can into the water. And it sinks and drowns.
Yeah, exactly. But what's the poll saying? Fact checker?
Well, it looks like Don, the crazy Krayt dragon, is leading now. So wasn't it flipped earlier?
It was flipped
Donnie
earlier.
Don.
Yep.
So
It
we have
was.
these statistics.
We only have a few votes. So if you haven't voted, do it now.
Yeah, if you haven't voted, people do it now. So we can get after the facts. I think the deciding factor in a lot of way. What?
I didn't know. Go ahead.
Oh, after the facts, they want to decide.
Okay. Sorry.
So I think one of the biggest things though was also that acid. That thing is it's so hard to get around that.
Yeah, it makes
but if
me
it has no
nervous.
effect on the armor of the Mythosaur, then
it's a null and void.
Null and
Yeah.
void.
Maybe
It's-
with other beasts it would have an effect, but we don't know.
we really need to have all these data points.
Yeah.
And we need to find out. We need to take the armor of the Mythosaur and the armor of the Krayt and see who can do more damage with both, how much the acid affects it.
Yeah.
So many questions that I would love to answer. We just need to get into like the halls of Lucasfilm and like figure out
it out.
all right, guys, we need to know the details.
What are the
here.
parameters?
What are these parameters? We're trying to start the series here.
Well, Bismo said, I'm going with Krayt, pure power, but Mythosaur might be smarter because it's almost godlike in Mandalorian's eyes, it seems.
Yeah.
Right.
Other than the fact that they hunted to extinction, basically.
So it might be pretty
not
dumb.
quite. Oh, no.
But not quite. So it's kind of a give and take. That's the challenging thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, also, let us know if you guys have any other beasts that you guys want to see going up against each other. We have some other ones in mind, and I think it'll be a fun series that we want to start here as well. So let us know if you like this, if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it. Let us know who you think would win between these two. It's kind of a fun thought experiment here. And which beast would you want to come into contact with more? I don't know. But
Neither.
let us know. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know. There might be some points to that, though, too. They came in contact with a Mythosaur. It did not immediately eat them.
No.
It didn't
just
even do
kinda
anything,
Swam beside him or opened its eyes.
Yeah, it just basically
Kinda
opened
like,
its eyes. It was like,
wow.
what?
Woke me from my slumber.
And then just turned away and swam away.
It's true.
I'm not too
True.
worried about you guys.
But
the
if you keep the Krayt,
He eats the things.
yeah, he does.
Well, if you walk, he gets mad.
Yeah.
Here's like, good grief.
I feel like the Krayt's just more motivated by hunger. That's almost more of what it was, because he basically was just going after food most of the time to stay, because it's massive, that size.
Yeah.
Which, so is the Mythosaur, but the Mythosaur is probably in an area underwater. There's so many fish.
Yeah.
And if that water goes for a long ways, you have so much more feeding ground, whereas like Tatooine, sands.
But at the same time, there was that giant other monster on that planet that we thought was the Mythosaur. So it could come out of the water and eat one of those and go back, for in Mandalorian Season 3 that took out that boat or whatever.
Oh, yeah. What was that thing?
It wasn't a Mythosaur.
It was not a Mythosaur.
It
That
was
is a good point.
It was a Dumpasaur. I don't know. It was
Dumpasaur.
It was
Oh,
because
was it the Trinitar?
Trinitar.
could
wait,
have been.
it wasn't
I don't know.
Purgles.
But it,
sorry.
I'm saying it could, there's obviously some other wildlife on that particular planet,
You're right.
and I'm guessing that our friendly Carl is pretty well fed. He looked pretty healthy.
He did look. He looked big. I mean,
Those eyes were sparkling.
they were sparkling. He was happy to see someone.
He wasn't instantly like, I'm gonna eat this Mandalorian dude. He was like, I'm not too worried about
Is
it.
it the spider tank?
Spider tank? It's got to be the
Or
spider
no, maybe
tank.
not. Is that a?
Is that a thing?
No, that's a droid. That's that droid
yeah,
that was on
yeah,
there.
Or like the sea monster?
Was it the sea monster? Man, I remember that.
No, there was the sea monster too.
Yeah.
in the other
that's right.
planet. Yeah,
Yeah, on episode 1, season 3.
But there was that random thing. We're like, it's Carl.
Yeah,
And it
we thought it was going to be Carl, which would have been awesome.
I don't think. Oh, the Mudhorn. Oh yeah, I forgot about El Mudhorn. That's his logo, right?
Yeah, but that's not on Mandalore. That's on. Man, I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. But anyway, when it
digging in.
comes to the Krayt dragon, crazy. So Don the crazy Krayt dragon versus Carl the mighty Mythosaur. I think I'm leaning more Krayt dragon, but I want to say Mythosaur just because it's awesome. And I feel like there might be more there. And we might have to revisit this after after the movie comes
The
out.
movie. If we see something in the
Yeah.
movie,
I really hope that they go into that in the movie. I
would
think
be-
it would be a missed opportunity. A missed
a missed
opportunity if they don't. So, all right. Well, what's the final poll fact checker when it comes to what the Gonkers are saying?
Oh, let's see. Okay, so it went up to Don being at 67%.
Oh, there he is.
we got an additional vote.
Yeah.
Donnie Don.
Donnie Dons.
Sounds like he's taken. I can't blame you either.
Is that where we're going to end it?
I think we got to end it there. We've been talking about this for a while now, but it's been a fun conversation. Thank you guys, everybody, for thinking and talking through and voting, and we'd like to know. Still, if we haven't said it yet, let us know what you think. So,
Nice.
man, Don wins it. We got a new contender, Don. Maybe at the end of this, we'll like put all that. We need to figure out a way so that like it's a fair fight. and then
Yeah.
input all the data.
That's right.
And
And
then-
then we need to just come up with like a metrics, a system that we can categorize these things by.
Yes.
And then intangibles would be a variable that,
Right.
would
That
play
might throw
into
one or
that.
two here or
And
there.
then you do like a full tournament or something, like a bracket, and you could play it out. And
Yeah. That would be epic.
Totally make it happen.
Oh
because
yeah.
We could do it.
That's the fun thing. I like this. I like that animal series is what I was thinking about.
Yeah, totally.
So-
Yeah. And what if like a pack of Krayt dragons
Oh
versus
man.
like a bunch of mythosaurs? So they're working as a team.
Yeah, or I feel like it would probably be more mythosaurs versus the Krayt would be crazy.
Yeah, a bunch of mythosaurs, so then like
That would
how
that'd
would
be a
one
different-
versus two happen?
I
How
don't
does
know.
it play,
I think that'd
like
be crazy.
an army of mudhorns versus like an army of what's the tauntauns or something.
That would be hilarious. We need to do some funny ones as well. I think
Yeah.
we do need to do some funny creature battles. And there's lots of creatures in
There's
Star
a lot,
Wars.
yeah.
And that I think leads me to the next so we definitively basically said
Yep.
As far as we know,
as
right
far
now.
as we know right
Yeah.
now, Carl is not the winner. It is Don, the crazy Krayt dragon,
Yep.
is taking this one versus the Mythosaur. As much as it pains us to say that, because we love Carl the Mythosaur, we just don't have enough information.
He's untested, he just needs to show us what he's made of.
Yeah.
Stop hiding in the shadows.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
not his fault, but
Get in the game
One
so
step
we can
into the
see
ring.
your
Yeah.
ranking.
Yeah, you got to step into the ring. If you step in the
Yeah.
ring, you might surprise us. I think that's going to happen. And I think when that happens, we're going to have to come back and we're going to have to reassess this entire versus
right.
battle
That's
to
right.
really find out who the winner is. But as of now, Donnie gets it. So
We named him.
That was a fun segment of Star Wars Beast Battle. And speaking of beasts, we got a fun new game for you guys tonight. There are so many beasts out there. And we got a game. It's called Guess the Galactic Beast. All right. I guess I should have probably plugged something before we did this.
what are you going to plug?
I don't know. We got memberships, people. Plug. We got memberships. We got merch. I don't know if you guys
Music.
noticed. We got merch up on the channel now too. You can click through. Plus, we got new merch coming out. If you missed, if you missed last week's, we
Talent on Target.
Talent on Target. We did a little bit of a tease. So definitely go back and watch that. We might have some merch coming along with that. So
Yes.
I don't want to say too much, but it's going to be fun and we're going to have a lot of fun. And it's kind of for all you gonkers out there, really, it is.
It really is.
So,
Yeah, but I like the store. You can look at the stuff right on the channel now.
Oh, man.
It's super nice. Just click on store and you can swipe through and get Regal Nick. I want to see the Regal Nick
I know.
shirt.
yeah, for sure.
Some legit stuff.
There's
on
some
here.
legit stuff and definitely more to come. So we're plugging our membership right now, which you can do for $1.99 a month, which is less than a candy bar a month. And you get some awesome stuff and also maybe a new emoji coming out
Ooh.
as well for
Members.
and some more
Members.
behind the scenes stuff we want to get to as well. So lots coming there. So and then I just plugged the merch, and then we also do have songs. Songs have done really well on our channel. So if you haven't checked out all our music, definitely check out all our music. And we also have it's across all
all
anywhere
the streaming platforms.
you can
so
find music. Check it out.
Save it. Share
Yeah,
it.
it's good stuff. All right, I think we plugged all of them. Also, I guess I didn't do this. If you haven't already, though,
Yeah.
like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about us so we can continue to make this the best Star Wars channel ever. I screwed up my own thing. But just remember, with all of us together, we can make Star Wars
Butter.
butter.
Right? Isn't that what we say?
That's what he says. Yeah.
Margarine.
Margarine. Oh, no.
Margarine-ly butter.
Margarine the Mythosaur.
Margarine. Yeah.
We love alliterations here. On,
Absolutely.
Target.
It's too much fun.
All right. Well, now that we've got through all that, let's jump into game time.
I suggest a new strategy, Artu. Let the Wookiee win.
Game time, baby. Oh man, this one's gonna be good.
All right.
So, how this one's working is it's called Guess the Galactic Beast. I feel like doing everything in like an announcer voice.
I
tonight,
know.
Like the,
Gonna add some
let's
effect
get
on
ready to rumble. That was fun. All right. I really sent that too. So guess the name of the beast and recall where. That's the addendum. Can you guess the name of the beast and recall where we've seen these galactic beasts in Star Wars? So you get 1 point for naming the beast, and you get 1 point for where we've seen it. All right.
When you say where, how specific where are we?
So it's going to be movies,
Okay.
shows, or games.
Okay.
No
So,
comics.
no comics,
or books.
Okay,
Okay,
it's got to
so-
be something we've actually seen.
So we saw this thing, and it was either in a movie, it was in a show, or it was in a game. Do I have to
Correct.
say the actual show and the movie and the game?
If you can, you get bonus points.
You get
You get
bonus.
a third bonus point?
So also the fact checker is the decision, ultimate decision on this. So the
She's-
fact checker decides if we've gotten it close enough, if we haven't gotten close enough, and if she wants to give us any additional points.
I
But we're
see.
going to try and stick to 1 and 1.
Okay.
But it's ultimately up to the fact checker.
Oh, boy.
It's between me, Dan, and also you gonkers out there.
All
so
right.
you gonkers better get ready for this because it is going to be good. All right.
Yes. All right.
Let's switch back over. Oh, okay. That is a Krayt Dragon. No, that is a... yeah. No, Mythosaur. What am I saying? Okay. Hang on, people. Guess the Galactic Beast.
All right.
It's going to be a beast of a game.
Here, let me move this.
All right, I
Go
like it.
fast.
Look at that. The verse is beast. The winner. Oh, that's what you're doing. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize. Wow,
That's
you were
okay.
telling
We
me.
have to officially announce it.
Let me zoom in.
Yes. The winner.
Oh man.
I want to see
can't
that
scroll,
battle
sorry.
now.
Skylar said, spelling also gets you a point. Yes, for you gonkers.
Yeah, for you yonkers out there. Yeah, for you guys. So we can't really spell it. I mean, we could, but
All right, we'll get that.
all right, good job. That's awesome. Am I gonna move the? I need to just do
I'll move them. Right?
move mode.
Oh, well, no, you
What's
just
the
want
right-
to zoom in to number 1,
I know.
right?
Yeah. All right, there we go. But it's kind of tricky. Sorry. All right, let's get to number 1, baby. All righty.
Okay.
Here is number 1, people. First one. So how so
Do we
whoever
just call it out?
Yeah, as soon as you think you know
call it out.
the name and
Either or, right?
yep, what it's from.
Yeah, what it's from.
Yeah, either or.
Oh, man. This is going to be tough. Can
Ready?
we get multiple choice?
Nope.
Nope. All right, ready? Get set,
There you
go.
go.
Dianoga. And we saw
Oh,
it in
yes. A video game.
well, that specifically I think was from a video
Oh.
game, the full length of it, but we've seen it in a movie.
Oh, we saw it in a movie, too? What movie?
I know a movie, but
Was that from... was that from the Han Solo movie?
no. No. That's a different one.
Dianoga? Is it from like the sequels or something?
No, look at its eye. Here, let's
I can't really see its eye. I remember it from the video game.
what video? I think you maybe should get points for that because it is technically from a video game.
I don't even
and
have
I think
that
this artist
fact.
rendition is from a video game. But
Ooh.
can you see the eye a little bit more? You can look here.
Not really, no.
I thought maybe the eye would help you out.
Nope, it's not helping me.
All right, so I'll tell you. So this is a Dianoga, and it's in the trash compactor in episode 4.
Oh, I never would have got that.
That's what's actually under the water that's pulling
Wow.
Luke. But the game, I think, is actually from Shadows of the
Shadows of
Empire.
the Empire. Yeah.
I think that's actually where this
you have
this
to fight it.
you have to fight it
as
and
a boss.
yeah, as a boss in Shadows of the Empire. I'm pretty dang sure.
I'm pretty sure too, unless
That's-
I'm off. But
Squidward. Skylar.
Yeah, I know.
Squidward.
Squidward,
Yes.
Squidward.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Dianoga.
man.
It's got to be Dianoga. Just
Yeah.
simply.
Yeah.
All right, so how
Why
the
is it Di? Doesn't that usually mean like? Never mind.
Yeah, it
die?
was in
Means
Shadows
it
of the
kills things.
Empire.
It was in Shadows.
But it was also in Battlefront,
Oh, was it?
Mm.
Fallen Order.
Yeah, it was in Fallen
So
Order.
Yeah, a
Iñaki
bunch
says it
of
was
them.
first in A New Hope. He's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, that's technically where
So
it's
is that
from.
the right answer?
Yes.
In a
that-
movie. Okay.
All right,
Nice.
so
Wow. Well,
nobody in the chat got the name.
No. So,
I'm pulling ahead.
So
Yeah,
Dustin
Dustin has
got 2
2.
points.
This is a
Yeah.
rare situation for me.
all right.
nice job,
Could be a-
Dustin. You're the beast battle boss boy.
That's
baby.
why we did this game. No, I'm just joking. Actually, it was my
Okay.
wife's idea. It's a good idea.
Definitely. All right. You ready for number 2?
We are
Yeah.
ready for number 2.
All right. Ready, set, go.
Oh,
What the snap is that?
here, you want me to
It's
zoom
not
in?
a crate dragon, is it?
No,
No.
It's
the name is tough on this one.
it's an ugly fish man thing.
It is a tough name.
Does
So
it start
maybe
with
think
a
of the
Z?
No. But it sounds like a Z.
Oh, a zebra.
No.
Sounds like a Z.
Well-
This it starts with sounds like a Z.
It sounds like a
I
Z.
don't know.
oh my
It's
goodness.
a C
No.
for Calabasas.
Oh, wow. No.
No, it's.
I
I don't even know where you've seen that creature.
Ooh.
It's got to be in
Don't
like.
look at the chat because they're
Yeah, we're not looking at
pretty
the chat.
close.
I'm pretty sure I know where it's from. What movie
say
it's
it.
from?
It's in a movie.
Phantom Menace. When they're underwater,
Yeah.
going through the planet.
What if I tell you
core.
if it's a movie, show, or game beforehand?
Well, you can do whatever you want,
Okay,
but
I'll
then
do
we
that
don't get the
next time.
point for it.
No, I'll just tell you which.
Which
Yeah,
category?
Where
category
we've
it's
seen
in.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah.
might help
Okay.
narrow it down
That
because
might.
it kind of
Okay.
looks a little CGI game like.
Yeah. No, that's right. It is in Phantom Menace, and it was the chasing them when they
Yeah.
were down swimming under the.
Well, I think
Water?
that was actually the big one
Yeah.
that ate the other fish. There's always a bigger fish. I think that's the biggest.
So it's called
fish.
a fish. It's called the bigger fish.
Dan got it. The bigger fish.
I figured it out.
I'll give you
What?
half a point, but no.
Yay, bigger fish.
I like it. That's what Qui-Gon says. So Phantom Menace for sure. The name of it escapes me, and I was just looking at a bunch of beasts
Okay.
the other day.
So you get 1 point.
Was
Dan
the
gets a
name
half.
said in the movie?
No.
I doubt
Exactly. So how would we know?
it. You're
Research
Star
it.
Wars
Unless
fan.
you're a beast nerd.
Yeah. Yeah.
The chat got it.
Oh wow, chat
Chat
way to
got
go.
it?
And Yaki was
And
pretty
Yaki,
quick.
He's in the future, so he knows what was
Yeah.
coming
I mean,
before it
KG
came.
guessed well too, and Bismo repeated the quote.
Oh yeah. Sando Aqua
Monster.
Monster.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Dang.
KG says a friendly salamander.
I know, close enough.
Bismo says always a bigger fish.
And then if Qui-Gon didn't know, how am I supposed to know?
Yeah, right.
All right. Yeah. Point for
Definitely.
the chat for
Yeah,
sure.
Dustin, you get a point.
Nice
Dan
job,
gets half
Iñaki.
a point.
And the chat gets a point.
I
I'm
already
at
said
least
that.
on the
Oh,
board.
sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So keep track of your own scores.
All right.
All right,
Three
cool.
All right.
points.
Number 3 is
Hang on. Let me move. Let me get to it.
Ooh.
Oh, you're gonna say yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
is in a show.
Mmm.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Set. Go.
Oh, shoot.
Blurg.
Nice.
Mandalorian season 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it was also it was in 2 shows technically.
Was it?
Oh,
Oh, it was in Rebels.
Rebels.
No.
Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Clone Wars. They rode them on Ryloth, right?
I don't know. Yes, I do know.
Season 7, maybe?
I think it was. I forget. I think they ride them on Ryloth. I think. Blurgs.
Okay, so point for Blurg, point for
Yes.
Mando, point for Clone Wars.
And
There's a
how
lot of
much
points
how
on
much
that
of a
one.
lag are we giving them? Is
We
it like
usually
5
give like
seconds?
12 seconds. So I think
12
they got it.
seconds.
Yeah.
They got it.
Oh,
Yeah, the
they're,
Blurg.
They're so quick.
Yeah.
Point for the chat, always.
But they didn't say where it was from. Just saying.
They're still thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that one right there was from The Mandalorian. Episode 2.
Yeah. Specifically, that one was Mandalorian.
Yes,
Season
yeah, it
one.
was live action.
Season 1 was it? Yeah, season 1, episode 2, right? Because that's when he's hunting.
Episode
We first
1.
meet.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh, they actually
Was
showed
it?
some
According to
episode
my
one?
facts.
Oh wow.
Oh, maybe.
He met him pretty quickly.
QL?
Yeah, you're.
Yeah.
Oh, he was riding it, and then they go into it
Mm-hmm.
in season 2,
Outspoken.
and then he rides it.
Oh,
I mean,
that's right,
episode
that's
2,
right.
not season
This
2. episode
scene is from episode 2.
2. Yeah, that scene I believe is from
Wow.
episode 2 because
Wow.
he's riding it in episode
First 4
1.
minutes.
Okay.
All right, so I got 4 points. Dan, you got a point and
One
a half.
and a half. Yep.
And then the
But then
chat.
you got 2 because you got 1 for Blurg and 1 for Clone Wars. And Dustin got one for Amanda.
He
Oh,
said
you're
Clone
giving
Wars.
them.
Yeah, I'm also giving that because
Oh.
that was in here.
Okay, that's
Let's
fair.
go.
All right, so Dan's got 2.5. I've got 4. The chat has 3
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
because they got both of these now.
Yeah.
And it was in episode 7, says KG.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I've spoken.
There you go.
They're like cute little land piranhas.
They are like
they are.
Definitely.
That would be terrifying to come across,
yeah.
honestly.
But to ride, I'd do it.
Yeah. Be bumpy, though. 2 legs versus
Yeah.
4. All right, cool.
All right, number
Blurgs,
4.
baby.
Okay, 2 possible answers and
Okay.
2 possible shows, I should say.
Shows, not movies.
Show. Oh, sorry. Nope.
Oh, man.
2
you're throwing
possible
us-
destinations or
Yes.
1 destination?
1 movie, 1 show.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I'm
let me
giving
cover
it
the
away
chat.
now.
Yep, it's all done. It's
Okay.
this.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Set,
Go.
go.
Think of these things.
Oh, shoot.
Wow. It's
Attack of the Clones, episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
How in the world am I going to remember that?
Because they're fighting in the arena.
Yeah, I know. I know
Oh,
what it
yeah.
is. The name.
Oh, yeah.
the
It's a
pokey,
reek.
spiky thing.
Is it a... No, it's not the reek. It's the... Oh, shoot. I know the
It's
name
got to
of
be
it.
like a crabber or something like that. Crabby
Has
Crabbio
those-
Mondays.
It has a few of those letters in it.
Krakatoa.
No. In the middle.
Oh.
Starts with a
Oh.
vowel.
I think I know it.
Ab.
Oh, you're really close.
Ab.
Acklay.
Acklay.
Acklay. I remember
nice.
now. Acklay.
And it was
And
also
since-
in
yeah,
Clone
what's-
Wars too. Ah, I failed.
That was a good guess,
guessing.
though. That was a good
Oh, what
guess.
other show?
Wow. As you said, it was in a show?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
one
sure
or
the
both
show.
of you guys raved about this. I want to
Was it-
say it was Dan.
Was it Rebels?
No.
What other shows are there?
I think it's animated.
There aren't very many.
Raved
There aren't
about a
very-
show?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I think you're thinking about something else.
Oh. Okay. I might be. but-
Maybe
Are you talking about...
All right. I'm going to give you that answer.
Bad Batch.
No.
Is it the short form one? Is only like 6 episodes?
No.
Oh.
Tales. No.
Oh, it's not Tales of the Jedi. I don't know. I'm
It was
lost.
definitely adventurous.
Oh,
The Lego Saga, the Freemakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freemaker Adventures. Is it in the Freemaker Adventures?
Yeah.
It probably is.
So, oh yeah, they come across a whole bunch of them.
I mean, I raved about the show.
Okay. I thought you had, Dan. Okay.
I raved about the show.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that show.
That is
Yeah.
a fantastic show. I ended up watching it with my kids too,
Yeah, it's a
and they
great
loved
show.
it.
Yeah.
I wish there was more seasons.
It was just so much fun to watch.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I know,
super
yeah.
fun.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Cool. So it was in the Freemaker Adventures. That makes sense.
This
Yeah.
is
Brilliant.
a tough one because like you got to be pretty sweaty to like to know the names.
Yeah, but if you do enough trivia and stuff like you guys do, like you'll figure it out.
all right, yeah, for sure.
Like you've heard the name.
Yeah.
right.
I'm not good with names.
You should almost be. You could ask him a bonus question as to like who fought this.
True. Well,
It's up to the fact checker.
wasn't that one Obi-Wan that took it down?
Yeah, Obi-Wan took this one down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Obi-Wan took that. Does he get a point for that?
No.
No.
It was Obi-Wan took this one down, and then because well, yeah. All right, let's keep going because there might be more beasts on here. That
Well, Nyaki got it. Do I get a point for Freemakers? Or
Yeah.
Are you being generous?
I'll be generous. Dustin gets
So I
2
got
for
one.
Acklay and episode
That was
2.
episode
episode
2.
2, Attack
Yeah.
of the Clones. All right, and they got it too.
And the chat definitely got it.
Nice.
Yes.
They got it. Man, they're quick about it too.
Yeah, they're quick. They're not
Episode
messing
2,
around.
and they're like naming specific time stamp marker.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
Yeah, I hear you, KGN. It's tough. It's tough when you're not good with names or creature names.
well, because
Yeah.
like you said, they don't say them in the movies.
Unless they, right. I
So
mean, the
that's the-
blurg they said, so I kind of had that one in the
true.
back of my brain.
Right. Yeah, that one. Well, it's more
It's
recent,
recent,
as
yeah.
well. And they actually say it in the show. They say blurg multiple times.
Yeah,
So,
multiple times.
all right, cool. Let's on to number
So I think
5,
I have
baby.
3.5 points.
Okay, this is a movie. There's technically 2 answers, but I'm going to say the first appearance is a movie.
Well, I'm sitting at 6 points.
Yes, I think so. Keep track of your own scores.
Shoot, I need to be. I'm not. Well, I usually don't have this many, so
You're
Nice.
higher than you can count.
yeah, I'm higher than I can count already.
Oh, man. KG says, I'm not good with creature names or names in general.
How many points does the chat have? Chat, keep track of your own points.
Hopefully. They're at least at 4.
Okay.
Yeah, they're at least at 4.
At least.
At least. All right. Numero cinco.
It might be more now.
Yeah.
Might be like
Math
5,
isn't my strong
6.
suit. All right. Number 5. Ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
Set, go.
Oh, that's another thing.
Episode 4. It's in episode 4.
Was this a movie? Yeah.
Special edition. It's the...
Oh, the
Oh, shoot.
the stormtroopers are riding.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
It's, oh, I need to cover up the chat.
It's a
Sorry.
crocodilia or something. I don't know. It looks like a very lizardy. Wow. That I would never.
I
guess
just
that
want to
in a
say
million years.
bantha, but it's not bantha because that's the elephant creatures. But it is in the special editions, episode 4.
So it wasn't in the originals.
Something back.
Yep.
Do back.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Do back.
Got it.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Dang, I couldn't remember.
You had half of it.
I know.
I couldn't
Maybe
remember
half a
the
point for
first.
the
I was just
name.
like, isn't it something on their back or something like that? I
That's
remember writing on
hilarious.
its
It wasn't
back. I
a
think it was on the nose.
Do back wasn't. It wasn't in the original.
I think it was only in the special editions, I believe.
And it was also an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Was he writing on a do-back?
I don't know. He was writing on something.
Oh, you
I
might
have it
be
in
right.
the Mandalorian show.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Oh, they wrote it in Mandalorian too?
What was he riding in his show? He was definitely riding in on
Something?
something when he.
I don't
and then when
remember.
he ran into Qui-Gon off into the sunset. He's riding on something.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, it could have been a do-back.
Was it? I thought, didn't it have a longer neck, so it was more camel-like?
Could have been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a spitty thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're right, actually.
Yeah, let's see. Look it up.
We're looking it up, people. All right, but
Oh,
how'd the chat do
yeah, they got...
on Tatooine?
Yeah, they definitely got it. Yep.
Tatooine episode 4, do-back. Yep, there it is.
Nice.
KG says, Nyaki is carrying us.
Mountain Dew back.
Mountain do-back.
There we go.
Skylar says, nice gonkers. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
you guys are
doing
killing
great.
it. You're destroying us.
Okay. All right, number 6.
Number 6,
So-
baby. Let me...
First appearance
Oh, well,
again
okay.
is a movie.
Give me just a sec. All right. Movie?
Yep.
All right. First appearance, movie. Is it in multiple things, though, or is it just movie?
No, it's in a show as well.
Okay.
But first appearance, we're
Stop it.
sticking with the movie. Name the movie
All right. Name the movie.
in the name.
And the name
Okay,
of the
ready,
creature.
set, go.
That's the Reek. That's what Anakin
Episode
fights.
2. Clone Wars.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
Nice.
Attack the
Yeah.
Clones.
Yeah.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
2. Yeah, episode 2.
Nice.
That's in
point
the same
each.
battle.
Battle.
Yeah, I recognize it now.
I remember, I thought
Very
the other
cool.
one was the Reek,
So
but
that's
this one's the Reek.
Okay, wow. Nice.
Good job. All right, point for each of you. Let's see if the chat gets it.
Do we see that in, I almost feel like that's in The Bad Batch.
No, close.
Clone
it's in a
Wars?
show and
Clone
Clone
Wars.
Wars too. Oh, okay.
I thought it was Bad Batch season, episode 1 or something like that. No. Dang.
The chat got it. Yeah, Iñaki.
Attack of the
you know your
Clones. Bismo knew
creatures.
that as well. Yeah.
Nice.
The Reek. Yeah. That's a kind of, you wouldn't think that would be named the Reek, but it is.
I know, it's funny.
So, all right. Good job,
wondered.
chat. Good
Gotta
job.
wonder how it smells.
It's got the Mythosaur tusks.
Oh, wait, well, who got the last one? Shoot. What was the last one?
It was the do-back. You each got half a point for the name. Because
Okay,
you
so
each said half of
It took me to 4.
And then I think Dustin, someone said A New Hope, episode 4.
That was
Dustin?
me.
Okay.
So I got 1.5 points.
Yes.
Special edition, and I got a half a point. So I got 4, and then I got a point
Well, I
for
think,
this one.
no, I couldn't remember the full name.
You guys
But
had
you said
half
back,
of it.
and I said do.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I didn't.
Half
I
a
couldn't
point
remember
each.
it.
Yes. So I got 4. So you got
7.5.
7.5,
That's what
and
I'm
then I
saying.
got 1 for this one.
Nice.
Yeah, you got 1 for this one, and then I got 1 for this one
Yes.
because I knew the name.
So 5 points.
Yep.
And I'm
Nice.
at 8.5.
Alrighty
All right,
then.
the next one is in a game.
Oh.
So
Oh,
we're
game
changing it
only.
up.
Oh, I like
Yep,
this.
only a
I like
game.
this game.
Okay, ready?
Let's do it.
Set, go.
What? Oh,
Jedi
that's
Survivor?
yeah.
Is it
No.
Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from the game.
Guessing.
Shoot, you see this all the time. The
Yeah.
name of it.
You guys say it all the
Oh.
time.
We do?
I feel like.
I feel like that would be a Dianoga.
That looks, the eyes very similar.
That's funny.
It's gotta
Something
be-
about the eyes, Dustin.
Is that one creature?
Well, it's very similar eye.
No, I think there's two
No,
there.
there's
two
two.
of
It's
them.
just
Okay.
one behind the other one.
It's got to be like a.
Like mud lizard, or not mud lizard. It's a shoot. You see it 100 times when you're playing the game because you have to kill them like over and
Oh,
over
really?
again. But now I can't remember the dang name.
Well, I'm never gonna remember it, so
Two
it's
words.
all on you.
That
It's
helps.
2 words. Dianoga.
Something worm? Is it
Skylar,
something worm?
You're close.
Is it something worm?
No. Nothing to do with worms.
It's not worms. It's not worms.
Oh man, it's snot worms. Is it a
There we
crate
go.
dragon?
And Yaki got it.
And Yaki got it. Oh man, destroying us.
No, it's.
What's the chat at now?
I don't remember.
Yeah, what? Well, how many points do you guys have? Trying to remember.
2 very short 3-letter words. Pismo said, "Is that a
3-letter.
Pokemon?" Just kind of.
Itsy bitsy. That's not 3 letters.
No. Think of like New York City.
Your clues sometimes make it Ninja Turtle.
No. Oh my goodness.
Oh, sugars.
Kind of.
New York City rats. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a rat.
That's
Something.
one of the words.
Is it the first or the second?
the second?
A worm rat.
No, 3 letters.
Is it Star Wars-y name? It's not like a Earth name.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Tar rat or
No.
like
Rat. It's not a Rathtar.
I can't remember. I am riding the struggle bus
Oh,
hard on this
man.
one. I'm gonna have to
KG said
Some-
snot worms.
something
Yes.
rat.
Totally
It's,
a snot worm.
Rat? No.
No.
Diarrhea? No.
No.
That's what it looks like.
When you hear it, you're gonna be mad.
It's got to be like eye.
dog rat.
Does it have the word?
Close.
Bog rat.
There you go.
Bog rat. Oh, there we go. I was like,
You
something-
bog rat.
Bog rat. I remember it now.
Yeah, I remember
okay,
you
you
guys
see it
saying
100
that.
times. I could not think of it for the life
Yeah,
of me.
it's
That's
a
hilarious.
rog bat. Yeah.
Snot worms.
So Dustin gets a point for the name. Dan gets a point for the game.
Wow. I
All
just
right.
was spamming a couple of games. I
hilarious.
didn't even play it.
Yeah. You did play it technically.
I did technically.
Yeah.
6, so I got 6 points.
Nice.
And KG said, "Not a
Nice.
gamer. I am."
Not a gamer, I am.
All right, cool. Well, good
All right.
job.
Yeah. Next
Jets.
one, we're going with the first appearance in a show.
Oh.
Okay, number 8. Ready?
Ready?
Steady, go. Oh, Dan, go.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, hang on.
oh
wait.
my goodness.
Gundark.
Oh wow.
I never would have got that.
That's a
Yeah.
Gundark baby. And, oh, you know this one.
Do I know this one, Dustin? Do I? Rebels?
Dewback was a couple ones ago. Yeah, that's it, right?
No.
No, it's not in Rebels.
I thought it was in Rebels.
Nope. I mean,
Oh.
It's in Clone Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Clone Wars. It's
First
the,
appearance.
it
What
was
episode?
Dooku episode with
Dooku captured.
yeah, Dooku captured with, and he's captured by Hondo, baby, and they're in that cave, remember?
Barely.
Yeah, one Hondo, baby, and it's got the
Barely.
Gundark in it.
Okay.
This is one of the creatures I wanted to do another fight. This is one of the
Ooh,
next
that'll be
ones
a
I
good
was
one.
thinking.
Oh, yeah, that's
As
the
a tease.
Gundark. Yeah, I know it now because I edited that.
Yep.
Was it in the dark?
It was in the dark.
Okay.
It was in
Makes
the
sense.
dark.
Gundark it all.
I got 0 on that one.
Love it. Okay, yeah.
No, you got
no,
Clone Wars.
yeah.
I didn't
Oh.
guess Clone Wars.
So, okay.
I thought it was Rebels, but that's a different creature that he goes to the dark side on. I was thinking of that one.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's not what
Yeah.
I was thinking originally, but
So I got the name.
okay.
It's a fun name, actually. Gundark.
Gundark.
It's kind of like Gundam.
Yes.
Dun 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 Gundam.
All right.
Yep, Miyaki got it. Man, he's on fire.
There.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Shoot. I misgendering.
Oh.
Yagi. My
Devil's
bad.
creature.
Sorry, Yagi. I'll get it right one of these years. All right.
All right, the
The
penultimate.
devil's creature. All right. This is the penultimate, baby. Here we
Let's
go.
Go. Nueve.
Ooh, okay. This might be tricky.
Uh-oh.
It's also in a game. Okay.
Also in a game? What's the first thing is from?
I mean, it's in a game.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we did a game earlier. Sorry.
Oh, no,
it's
you're
in a
good.
game.
Also in a
Just
game.
focus on that.
All right, game.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Set. Good luck.
What the world? What in the world? What in the wide world of sports?
That is interesting.
That's in a game?
Mm-hmm.
A game?
Yeah.
It's not in like the Lego Skywalker saga, is it?
No.
That does not look familiar at
No.
all. Like,
It's funny.
like some of these will at least trigger something in my brain. This has triggered nothing.
That might tell you something.
It's a game we've never played. Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
The animation style. I know I was looking at the animation style. We did technically play it, but
Wow.
we never got
I
one of
know.
those.
And it's
Briefly.
It's called a fish.
Does start with an F.
A
Whoa.
freak fish.
Freaking fish.
KG said it's a
a-
fast fish.
A flowbot.
No. It's really a tricky name.
A Fartsfeldhugen. What's
Yeah.
what's the name from?
Fafnugan.
Yeah, isn't that Men in Tights?
I don't remember.
The name of the horse.
I don't remember that.
Oh, no.
You do that again. This is so funny.
Ooh, nice. And Yaki got it.
It's a
And the spelling is on point.
Finfish.
No.
Finnegan.
It does
The
start
finny
with
fish.
F-I.
well, that would make
It
sense.
doesn't end with...
Gefilte fish.
Yeah, gefilte fish.
It's not called a fish. It's
Flying.
called something bigger.
Oh, a Furby.
Well, there
Wow.
could be... You could call it one thing, or you could call it two
things.
words.
Oh, Furbies.
Oh.
I know.
So it's plural.
No.
It's a flying pack of
fire
Like-
fire robbers.
You're close.
Fire rabbits. It kind of looks like a tiger thing. So like a,
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I can see that.
No, it's still a water creature.
I
The
know,
second
but-
name.
We got tiger's blood.
that's
It's bigger
zoom
than
in.
a fish.
A whale.
No, smaller.
That is bigger than a fish.
Well, that's true.
a space,
Shark.
a space
Yeah.
whale,
That's half of it.
a fish shark, a fire shark,
You're close, but not
fiber
quite.
shark,
It's really
Fin?
fighting
Kyla
shark.
said, Sky shark.
Sky shark. Sky shark.
It's a mythosaur that jumps out of the water.
And Yaki's giving hints. Located on Manon or Manon.
Oh, Manon.
Oh, that triggers it.
I didn't play the game, so
I have no idea.
Bismo knows. It's a
Yeah,
flamingo fish.
it's
Shark.
F-I-R.
A
3 more letters.
Furby.
3 or 4.
Furby.
Furby. No.
Fern
Furby.
goalie. Fern goalie.
No, there's more vowels.
Farabble
Oh, you're close.
For rib?
for rib. It's for rib.
For ribe?
For rat. Why?
For
people,
robe.
The people that just tuned in were like, for the.
Yeah. Like, what are we watching?
Good job.
You guys, what is
Shall
this?
we just tell
What is this,
you?
a hooked on phonics
Yeah,
thing that
yeah.
you guys are trying to learn?
It is.
It's a tough one.
have no idea.
Feroxa or Feroxin.
There's no way
Shark.
we would have got
Oh,
that.
for rocks. I was thinking X.
I was thinking X. That was my
gonna
next
tweet
guess.
next?
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah, I'm just
next
making
guess.
up. Is that a Scrabble word?
It
Can you
would.
use it in a sentence, please?
Faraxin shark. Okay.
It's
Located
not
in
considered
Manon.
canon, or might not be considered.
Holy
canon.
cow, that is a deep
that's
cut
true.
right there,
Yeah.
and that cut me deep because I had no
Nice
idea
job.
other than Knights of the
Hey,
Old
well, you
Republic.
got to have, watch out for number 9.
Watch out for the penultimate, baby.
Yeah, you got to make it tough sometimes.
The finultimate. The shark.
Finn
Ooh.
Ultimate.
That was Finn Ultimate.
That was
that's,
funny.
that's good.
That was
Alright.
tough,
Now
guys,
now
but
I
they
wanna
got
see-
that one.
Now I want to see Finn in like the form of
Shark
like a
mode.
fish or something.
You mean Finn from the
Yeah,
sequence?
like he's a fish.
Yeah.
Like he's Finding Nemo. Something.
I just want to see him riding on it.
Yeah, Finding Finmo.
Finding Finmo. That's the name of the next series.
Episode
That was
10.
what just happened here on the show. Finding
Exactly.
Finmo.
Yeah,
We had to
basically.
figure out what it was. Good job, Gonkers. You guys destroyed
Yeah.
us on that
Yeah,
one
nice
for sure.
job.
We
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
All right, next one.
All right, the
First-
ultimate.
First appearance is a movie, and then other appearances are shows. So if you name any of them, I'll give you a point.
Oh.
Bonus round.
Boo.
Yep.
Wait, is this? No, this is the last one?
Well,
Last
All right, what are the points? We have 11 and a half. I have 11 and a half.
I've got 7.
Dan's got 7.
Nice.
And the
The
chat.
chat probably has all of them.
Like
So probably
17.
18.
No, they didn't get the first
Oh,
one.
that's true. So 16,
Boo.
probably.
Wait, is it that many? It's not that many.
Well, if they get 2 per question.
Yeah.
2
But how do I only have 11 and a half?
Wish.
I got most.
You didn't get. You got
That's true.
one of.
Yeah.
That's
one
true.
part-
I haven't got them
parts.
all every time.
All right, let's
Okay.
do it.
That's
All
fair.
right.
Pound
Number
10.
Okay. Ready?
Pound sign 10.
All right. Ready,
Yep.
set, go.
Oh, it's a loaf cat.
Oh,
No, it looks like
no,
it.
that's from
It's a
the same.
Yes, it is. It's on Attack of the
Yeah,
Clones.
episode
Yeah.
2.
It's
Shoot.
Okay.
Super Cat Man. It's got to be like a Tiger Roxa.
No, this one's. I can never remember
You
the
got
name
a
of this
letter.
one.
Oh, I got a letter. Oh,
I can never remember the name of this one. It's the one that
The-
hits Padme and
scratches her.
yeah, gets the midsection, shows off those abs.
The scratcher.
Or the back. No,
KG said, "Check out that smile."
Kitty boy.
No, that's the cat from.
Right. What's the name
It's
of
in
it, Dustin?
other shows.
No,
It's
no,
in
this
other
is the
shows.
no, this is the smiling cat, the Cheshire cat from
Oh,
with that smile.
yeah, the Cheshire Cat from that other animated film.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland.
Oh.
But he's a Cheshire Cat, but they didn't call him. But it does look
Yeah.
kind of like that. But it's got to be like
This is always the one I can never remember the name for.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh,
It's
Nyaki,
what
you
else
got
would it be
Sonia
in? Would it
got
be? It probably would be in the Clone Wars animated series.
Yeah, it was. I think it was in
no.
Rebels.
Nope.
And it was in another movie.
No, 2 shows in a movie.
2 shows
Two
in a
shows?
movie.
Okay, well then it's in
I mean, Bad Batch.
Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Would have to be
Oh,
one.
okay.
Dang it.
Yes.
And then is it the one I said earlier?
Yes.
Yeah,
The-
probably.
The short series one. It's not in
Tails?
that-
No.
No, it's not in Tails.
No. I had to help you with that
It's
one
not
too.
Acklay. It's not the Reek. Those are the 2 I always remember.
Acklay, Reek, and
And this guy to finish out the trio,
Tigress.
the Tiger Lily.
Tiger Lily.
Um,
Timbits. Does it start with a T?
Nope.
Doesn't even start with an I.
Nope.
Igloo.
eyesore.
Teeth.
No.
Furball.
Nope.
It's a weird one. I can never remember.
It's
the
like
name.
a
4 letters.
It's like
It's
a
only 4.
claw. The claw.
No, it's 4. No.
CLAW.
Yeah, thanks, Inyaki. Got
Claw.
the Bad Batch.
Oh man,
The.
I never remember this one. It drives me nuts every time.
It's not cat.
Nope.
It's not mouse.
It starts with the next letter.
An olive branch.
What?
A dart.
Is it like a Numa or
You're close.
Nula?
You're close.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Shoot.
A newt.
It turned me into a newt. We've been referencing that a lot tonight. That's hilarious. I got better.
I got better.
Um,
I'm never gonna get it.
a noom.
No.
A noob.
It's definitely
Noob.
N-E. N-E.
Nerf.
Fun letter.
Nerf herder.
Nerf herder. That was hilarious in the Skywalker, or not the
Yeah, that's right. In the game.
Rebuild the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Actual Nerf.
Yeah.
herders.
You might want to tweet this one out.
N-E. It's got to sound kind of scary in some ways, so I'm trying to think of what would sound neck.
Oh, you guys.
I don't know.
Man, it's so tough when you don't know it.
Tweet.
Bird.
You're making a sound.
What do you think of when you think of tweeting?
Twitter.
Yeah?
X.
Yeah?
Nexu.
There you go.
Nexu.
It's always got X's.
I know,
Now
yeah.
the Star Wars creatures. It's
There
the
you
mix
go.
of
Nexu.
Mythosaur.
N-E-X. you.
Yes.
Ah,
I got the spelling
You'll
right.
next you.
Leave it to the X's.
Yeah, you got to have the X's there.
That's
Said it
right.
earlier, Dan. I
I
thought
know.
you
I
would
should
have
have
it.
thought it. I just the X's they mark the spot.
X
Yeah.
marks the
Never
spot.
mark the spot.
Oh my goodness, how the chat doing? How the Gonkers doing that?
They did
Oh,
good.
they
Yes,
got
they
it
definitely
all.
got it.
Oh my goodness.
But it
Think
was
X
also-
again.
Yeah, that was also in the Freemaker Adventures.
Oh, I
Oh.
forgot about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Dang.
Well, I got 8 total, so I'm pretty proud of that for not knowing any names of
yeah,
any of the
seriously,
creatures
that's
except
a,
for one.
that's a tough one.
That is tough.
I got 12 and a half.
Nice.
But I
Wow.
know the Gonkers definitely destroyed us.
They
Inyaki
always
got
Per
were.
30
usual.
points, and there weren't even 30 available.
Yeah, there were. He
points.
got extra credit. He got extra credit on all of them
Yeah,
too.
He got a double bonus point
Double
round.
bonus. Yeah, double or nothing.
Yeah. Knight says I like fractals. What are fractals again?
I'll have to look that up.
The Vractals are. Shoot, are those the winged creatures from Mandal?
Oh, from the Mandalorian. He's like, "Whoa," when he used to get him at night when he's trying to swing by and take him out. And Grief Karga.
I think I'm looking it up right now. No, Vractal is he's on. That is a really cool one as well.
Oh,
That's what
in the
Obi-Wan rides
Third
on
episode?
Utapau. Utapau in episode
Yeah.
3.
Yes.
Yeah, those are really cool, and it makes like
Mm-hmm.
the cool like bird sound too. It's like
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
Something
right.
like that.
It is an interesting sound. I like the sound design.
yeah, those are really cool, and that one's in multiple as well. The Vractals, I think.
Nice.
Well, they're in games.
That would be one worthy of putting in a fight against something else.
Yeah, that would be a good fight. What would you put it up against though?
The dodo bird.
The Vractal versus the Dodo.
Vractal versus what was the thing we had earlier? That the dewback.
The dude. No, actually, you could put it up against the Acklay.
Oh yeah,
That would be
dewback versus
interesting.
Acklay.
No,
Vractal versus Acklay.
That might be pretty good. Or Vractal versus the Reek.
Ooh,
That'd be pretty fair because
that's true.
the only thing about the Acklay is it's got like the spikes
Yeah.
on it that can like do some
Yeah,
damage.
that would hurt.
But
Yeah.
you got to be fast, and this thing's really fast though. That's the cool thing.
Yeah, earlier you were talking about the creature that we thought was Mythosaur, Carl. It was a Trinitar.
Oh,
And the
Trinit.
Mando that knocked the boat. Or
Oh,
the boat.
Trinitar.
And that thing was
Tar.
pretty. How big is that sucker?
I don't know. Might have to be a
17
future
feet.
episode.
It might Trinit. How do you spell it?
ITAR.
Trinity T minus the Y AUR. Yeah.
AUR.
AUR.
Trinitor.
Trinitar. I don't know.
Let's see. I just want to see.
What? Does it have wings?
Is it a winged beast?
No. It's that one on that one side with the bad. Remember, he had a stomach
This one?
ache.
Yeah. Yep. That's the Trinitar.
This is it right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Species of the week.
But they don't really show much of it.
It's like
That's it,
it's
yeah.
like a cross between a Krayt dragon and a Mythosaur, but more like a Krayt dragon.
Yeah.
It's almost like they had like the model left over from the Krayt dragon. Like, dude, we could just use the head.
Yeah, just use
And like
that.
make it in a lot of dust.
Which I mean, seeing the size of that thing though, like that's why we thought it was the Mythosaur because it's
Yeah.
ginormous.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and
that's-
the crazy thing is, the Mythosaur. Going back to the verses, the Mythosaur was the apex predator on Mandalore.
yeah.
So
Oh,
if
okay.
that thing is ginormous as a Trinitar,
Yeah.
and the
And
Mythosaur
the Mythosaur's
is
gonna step on it.
is
There's always a bigger fish.
yeah, I'm wondering if it's not bigger still than that. I want to see that thing.
I'm going with city sized.
I think so.
Nice.
I think so. But wow, good job, chat Gonkers. You guys destroyed us as always, and that was fun. That was a fun game. I thought it was a great idea for tonight. My wife came up with that. It was a great.
Well, we see
great
some more
job.
creatures that maybe we'll see again.
Yeah, we might see again. This might
puts
be a
us
little
into
bit of a
beast
tease.
mode.
It gets us into beast
Beast mode activated.
Engage. Yeah. Heck yeah, baby. All right, we do have a little bit of news that we could cover real fast, and then we'll gonk out of here. You guys wanna
Skylark's
do
putting
that?
all our money on the dodo. That's right.
The dodo. The dodo's going to win 100%.
Yeah, what's the news?
We do
It's been
have-
awfully quiet out there, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's not been a ton going on. Kind of some drama here and there, of course, like
yeah.
always in Star Wars. Some behind the scenes stuff, but there's some interesting facts that have come up. But actually, one I wanted to say here that actually ties in
Oh.
to the Beasts is Star Wars is releasing a new book, which I want to get. I wish I would have had it before doing all the research for this, but it's called Star Wars Bestiary, Volume 1, Creatures of the Galaxy.
Nice.
Sorry, I do not have a photo of that. I should have got a photo.
Is that
We
a
don't have
Christmas
photo.
gift, Dustin?
Could be, but it's coming out. It's pre-order now, and it comes out November 5th, and it covers all creatures in Star Wars. At least it's Volume 1, so they might have some additional ones here. But I did see that recently, and I was like, that perfectly ties in to what we're talking about this week. So I thought that'd be fun for you guys out there if you're looking for any new Star Wars books. I do find those fascinating.
Yeah.
And there's actually a guy local to us that helps with some of these books, and I'm hoping maybe one day we might be able to get him on the show to talk about it.
Yeah,
or
for
we
sure.
can interview him or something like that. But I find it fascinating. I actually really like digging into the details when it comes to Star Wars and getting kind of sweaty and nerdy with things. It's just kind of fun.
Well, yeah, and it pays off in these trivia things.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got to do my research, baby. But yeah, what do you think about that, Dan?
That sounds pretty cool, actually. Yeah, the creatures of the galaxy, there's a lot of them.
Well, how useful would that be sometimes? Like when you're watching something.
Yeah, to know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to know the flora and fauna of the environment that our protagonists are running around in.
True.
So,
What would the name of that book be called? Of all the different
I think that's it. Flora and fauna.
flora and
flora
fauna.
and fauna.
The galaxy's flora and fauna. You know how
That's
big
right.
that book would be? That would be massive.
gardening.
That'd
in
be
this-
really cool.
Gardening in the galaxy.
There's probably something like that out there. That's the crazy thing. But
Well, we need to do the cooking book in the galaxy. So
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just need to figure out what else there is. But because there's so many things, and people like you and Nick and them can pull it off the top of your head in any particular episode of a live action, whatever. And
not
especially
not the fauna.
maybe not the fauna, but
Flana.
You know the Sarlacc pit. Is that a flana or a flora?
No, the Sarlacc pit's a creature.
But it's in the ground.
It is in the ground.
So therefore,
what do you
crossing
define?
over?
What do you define as flora or fauna?
It's blurring the lines. It's like a florna.
Florna.
Flowerna.
Flowerna.
It's a bestiary flana.
It's a tarnog.
Tarnog.
What was it? What were the Mandalorians before? Targa?
Tong. The tong,
Tong.
I think, is what they're called.
Tong. Okay, that
Tong.
sounds very,
It's a tongue twister.
very tribal.
Here, I have a
Yeah.
picture of the book if you want to go to Mural.
Oh, let's
yeah.
go.
Oh, nice.
I think this is
All right.
Bestially.
Hang on, give me just a sec.
Yeah, to the
Here's the
right.
book.
Just scroll to the right. Yeah.
Scroll to the right.
There it is. And
Scroll to the right.
Is it there?
Oh.
Oh, there it is.
There
Boom,
it
popped in.
is. Look at that.
Oh, thanks, fact checker. That was awesome.
Speaking of, right on the front cover, we've got a big old giant.
Krayt. No,
No, what's the
what am I
thing
saying?
called?
Not
That's
Krayt.
Bantha.
No.
There's a
There's a
bantha.
bantha.
Rancor.
Rancor. And then there's the Wampa.
Wampa. You got their little porg pies.
Yeah, so cute.
I don't know why they added those in.
A Loth cat.
Loth cat.
The simple loath cut.
I'm not sure what like the colorful one is.
That's some sort of fox, I think.
Okay.
Cute.
And there's what's the little flying thing up
yeah,
in the top
it's like
corner?
a dragon
Fly.
something.
I don't know that one.
Well, you got to get
It's-
the book.
it's got
I guess we're gonna have to get the book.
Probably
people.
has an X in it.
Just look. It looks like an X-wing.
Rancor.
Oh.
It's a butter X fly.
Yeah, wow.
Oh my goodness, well, that's
Wow,
cool.
that's-
Thanks for
yeah.
pulling that up. But yeah, it looks interesting. It's definitely an interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting read. So
Volume 1, which means there will be probably a Volume 2.
probably because there's so many creatures, it's crazy. And if you have like a page for each,
Yeah, well, because they have that we have the Star Wars ships book and the Star Wars
that one's
characters.
cool. I love those with the breakdowns.
Yeah, it's really cool to brush up on your just find out information that you didn't know. Like,
Yeah,
where was that character born, or what is that ship? How many people can that ship hold?
yeah, it's a good resource too. Whenever
Yeah.
you are trying to look up facts
Well, and
for
when you're
things,
trying-
like when I'm trying to look up the Mythosaur facts or the
Right.
Krayt Dragon facts, like that would have been nice to have a book where I could reference and that's what they say it is. Because
Encyclopedia.
those are the people that go sweaty deep into these things.
Yes.
Doesn't always translate online, unfortunately.
No. Nice. Cool. Well, that's a cool looking book. Good job. Way to go.
Way to go. All right,
Comes
let us
out
know
on
if you're going to
Tuesday.
get it. If not, no worries. It looks good, though. I'm
It's going on
excited.
Dustin's
Might make a
birthday
good
Christmas
coffee
special.
table book
Yeah.
Ooh.
for your Thanksgiving and holiday enjoyment.
I like having those kind of books on there. Yeah, it's just fun. All right.
Bathroom read? No.
Yeah. Potty read. All right, so the next bit of news, not so great, but Stephen Knight exits the new Jedi Order movie, so the Rey movie, with Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. It's kind of sounding more and more like this movie isn't gonna happen, just from the sounds of things, for the fact that they've already been through 2 other writers, I believe. They left, and then now Stephen Knight, who is also working on a Peaky Blinders movie right now and stuff like that. He's been working on that. So, I mean, it's not surprising in some ways because there's a lot going on in Star Wars right now, and I think there's a lot of moving pieces right now because they're trying to figure things out. They've not been doing well, so I think they're trying to reorganize and reconfigure and figure out what works and what's not. And also, I've heard rumor that Kathleen Kennedy announced this movie before it was actually approved by Disney.
Ooh, ouch.
To try and force their hand. That is a rumor. That's a complete rumor. I have no idea if that's true or not. So take that as you will.
It's a trumor.
A trumor.
Tremor.
A tonger.
That's very.
But yeah, so personally, I don't think this movie's happening. We've been saying that for a while. I just think it's too little, too late, and it's a character I don't feel like as many people are interested in. Now, they could do something great with it. I just don't have high hopes for it. So personally, I don't think it's going to happen. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, you led with it's not good news, and I actually think of it the opposite, as it is good news.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Because when certain things that shouldn't be made or shouldn't happen start falling apart, you're like, that's fine with me because it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Yeah.
So it just kind of proves what we've all been saying, like, how can they write this thing that, satisfies the Star Wars? It's just not possible. It's like, go the opposite direction of this. And just run far, far away, and not that anything against the character of Rey, who was maybe had potential, but the way they ended up with it and the way that it's so confusing, and now you have to constantly reference those movies that, 85% of the fans don't particularly love, maybe 75%.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge that.
Yeah, it's just not the direction I don't think that they needed to go in the first place. So if this thing falls apart. Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. They're just signs of the times.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's with even who they're getting to direct it and just the subject matter. I think the farther you get away, further
is distance.
Farther
is time. I could have that backwards.
I think it's
further
backwards.
is time, farther is distance. Yeah, further is theoretical.
Irregardless.
Yeah.
Farther is distance, further is time.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, regardless.
Strike that reverse.
Either way, both of them are good. Just get away from the sequel trilogy in general.
Well, the 15 years is what they had said this movie was going to be. Don't tell us. Like, just 15 years, like, where she rebuilds the new Jedi Order. And you're like, you're so confusing. It's like, what, 15 years she's rebuilding the new Jedi Order? With who? With the little boy that was with the broom and whatever.
Broom kid, and I think Grogu was.
Grogu.
It was. So they were going to say maybe Grogu. I think that's what they were going to try to do.
I mean, again,
to get people interested.
I don't have anything against Rey, but I'd rather see her like older. Like 50 years, 60 years down the road.
You think so?
I mean, if you're going to do it, let some time go by. Stop telling us like every story every 10 minutes. I don't know. For me, it's just not interesting at all.
Yeah.
Unless you're jumping forward 1,000 years.
Well, and
jump forward 1,000 years and you have a blank slate.
That's what they need to do. They need to get away from all this.
Don't be going 15 years. It's like, no, maybe if the last one was a huge hit, when you get like the Marvel universe and you can bounce when the previous series of Marvel movies, when they could bounce back and forth 10, 15, 20 years and keep working around the timeline that worked.
Yeah.
Right.
This timeline isn't working because there's nothing left of it that we care about.
Yeah, and
there's no villain. Who's the villain in 15 years?
Has to be new.
It has to be a new one, but what's he going to do? He doesn't have any time to like really do anything.
Right.
And what? Oh, he was in the background behind Palpatine
the whole time,
controlling. Somehow Palpatine
it's going to be
returned
Plagueis.
again.
It's going to be Plagueis now.
Plagueis. It probably
Hopefully
was.
They learned from the original.
It
sequels.
probably was going to be Plagueis from the Acolyte, and they were leaning into that. I'll bet you.
I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea.
No,
I don't
it
think
just
they
doesn't-
have a plan.
They don't have a plan.
That's the problem.
And the Star Wars fans,
They're just throwing poop at the wall and hoping something sticks at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, Bismo said, just ridiculous at this point. KG said, I prefer to hope that they're just trying to get the script right, perfect for the Rey movie. She doesn't want them to rush it.
Yeah, I mean, an argument could be made that the sequel trilogy was very rushed.
Oh, yeah. It was a mess.
But I think the biggest problem for me overall when it comes to the sequel trilogy is just in how they wrote their characters. All their characters, the character development and stuff like that. I think Kylo had the biggest arc out of everybody in that whole entire series. And you still just it was like too little too late. And it was just uninteresting. The characters and the story as a whole, if you look at the whole sequel trilogy, it just amounts to nothing in some ways.
There's no cohesiveness.
Yeah, that's it.
It's all broken up by like this director, and then this director got fired from 9, so they brought in the guy that did 7. He didn't want to do it, but he took the paycheck and tried to do it, but that's not what he's known for. So yeah, the sequel trilogy was 100% rushed. It had potential. It had
so much potential. It had so much. That's the annoying. That's the most frustrating thing about it.
It had all of us there ready to go, and then it just ran out of gas way too soon, and because of that second director being it just went a totally different direction that didn't work. They
were not wise in who they chose as directors.
They're great directors. They're great movie
on
directors,
their own,
but they're not. They shouldn't be the ones writing it all. They should be like directing the scripts that are already cohesively built.
Right.
Not able to just go in and be like, oh, I just feel like this character would do that. And I feel like this character shouldn't do that anymore. He should do that. Well, you just told us in the last movie that he was like leaning toward maybe being a Jedi. No, he's not a Jedi anymore.
Look, perfect example of that for me is the scar. They moved the scar on Kylo's face.
Continuity is a joke.
I understand why they wanted to do it. It was because they said it was like it looked goofy or it was hard to have. But I'm like,
that's pathetic.
That doesn't matter though. It's continuity,
ahead,
like you said. Like they moved the scar on his face for no reason.
No, because the second guy didn't want to do anything that the first guy did, and and the first guy came back for number 3. He's like, haha, I'm going to change everything back to the other way and minimize your characters that you introduced. And it's like, are you guys fighting about this movie? Like all of us Star Wars fans are just paying the price. Like this isn't good anymore.
It's like they're paying the price for ego and just bad storytelling. I mean, I think KK had way too much involvement into it in the story group. And that's actually one of the other rumors I've heard recently.
Yeah,
is that apparently they're really they might be cleaning house when it comes to Lucasfilm right now. At least that's what a rumor. I think Doomcock's the one who came out with the rumor. Again, it's a rumor, and who knows if it's true or not. But that it's got the inside. It's got employees nervous. Some employees nervous at Lucasfilm right now.
If I were at Lucasfilm, I'd be nervous because I'm not making any money for my parent company, which is Disney.
Right.
And everything that comes out gets panned harder and harder. Like, I'm putting my heart and soul into it, but I'd be looking for another job. Be like, I'm going to go somewhere where there's actually room for growth and there's a cohesive plan at the top.
Yeah.
There's too much meddling. It's
with a leader you can follow. That's the other thing. That actually cares about the source material. I think that's one of the biggest things. They're too focused on the agenda. That's the problem. And they don't care enough about the original source material, and they don't treat it with respect. I think that's the problem. It's a pale imitation of what came before,
right? And
even subverts what came before.
Well, and you're far enough. Yeah, I mean, you could make an excuse for the last couple of years being subpar because of the situation in 2020 and like the certain circumstances they had to try and be creative, working remotely, this, that, and the other. You can't film together, so you could say that the shows that came out were, potentially. They're not made normally, right? They had to make concessions to create the shows,
right? But
the writing is still horrendous,
and
that's not affected. That should have gotten better because you get more time to sit at home and write. It's like, like I'm not a writer, but I can tell bad writing versus good writing.
We all can, and that's why
surely somebody out there can write something really good. Actually, somebody did. That's called Andor.
Yeah,
that guy wrote some pretty good stuff in there. And I'm not saying all of it's perfect.
But it fits so much better, though.
It fits a lot better. And then it was also directed and acted pretty darn well,
right,
compared to other shows and other movies.
Well, and it took what came before with respect. It respected the source material,
I guess,
in a lot of ways.
But it stands on its own. It's not like you're not going to pick it apart like tons of holes in the story. I mean, there's some, but
and they weren't they didn't go too heavy on like lore that's come before. Like they didn't really bring in a ton of big. I mean, they did bring in some characters that we've seen already.
Yeah.
But they did again in a way that made sense. Did not break canon in any way. So
KG, Disney should be able to find the best writers. Should be able to afford the best writers. You're 100% right.
yeah, I think the problem at this point though is no writer or director wants to touch Star Wars with a 10-foot pole because they've seen the history of working with KK. I mean, people are showing up and they're always leaving over creative differences. And I think even going back to this point, that's why Stephen Knight is exiting. The rumor was that he's already put out like 3 drafts, and they kept sending it back to him with changes.
Well, it's like,
and I think he just got to the point where like, okay, you're not basically taking anything. You want to do your own thing. I'm out, you know? So
it's like you're an artist, right? You're a well-known artist and you're like Pablo Picasso or somebody,
right?
And then like, but you got hired by somebody, and so they're like, paint me something amazing, incredible. You paint something incredible, you take it to them, you put years of work into it, and they're like, oh, interesting. Well, make it more red. I want to see more red on it, just like a lot more red. Like I prefer red everywhere. You know, after this like thing's gone, you're like, what? Why? Why does it have to have more red in it? Like the painting is about the water.
Yeah.
No, red. Just make it a blob of red. Okay, well, I'll go back and you try to incorporate some red, and then you come back. He's like, no, it needs more red. It's not red enough. It's like so simple and dumb.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's kind of
no
like,
nuance.
And so like, I'm sorry, I can't work under these conditions. Like,
Yeah.
But the painting apparently at the beginning was like beautiful, you know?
Right.
Most other, like, let that go through, and then like we can decide whether or not that's good or not, because the artist had his chance to write the thing. Maybe Stephen Knight wrote something really cool, and made some amends, you know, with the Rey character or something like that. When
made her likable, gave her some story arc, character
and
growth.
Like, no, we can't have her do that, and you know, or maybe undid. You know, she was like, I've been so confused because this all happened so fast. You know, I need to sit back and look at who I am as a person. I'm not a Skywalker. I'm not a Palpatine. I'm a Kenobi.
They go back and
And then you're like, oh, you know, and she's like, no, he can't be a Kenobi. We already said she was a Skywalker / whatever, and possibly Han Solo's daughter. And, you know, it's like, so I'm saying that they could do things, but then they're like, no, more red, paint it red.
And even kind of what I think KG's kind of saying here, it's not just gay. They're afraid of a massive fandom too, which, but you should be afraid of your massive fandom, and you should be making material for your massive fandom, not making material that your massive fandom dislikes. Like you got, at the end of the day, you got to make money, and you also need to please the fans. At least the majority of fans, and I think the majority of fans have spoken on most things. And
we're pretty simple fans. Yeah, KG, is impossible to please everyone in a fandom that's lasted this long. That's true, but
there's still a majority, I feel like.
Yeah.
And people that have stuck around for ages, and those are the people.
You look at what made Star Wars brilliant from in the beginning, you know, and it's not like you can always duplicate that because it was something new, it was fresh. It's hard to always be fresh. You can't always reinvent the wheel.
That's part of the problem with a lot of these directors and people coming into Star Wars now.
They want to be so fresh, like, oh, this is so 2021, like this is the freshest for 2021. But it doesn't, but it leaves out all of the qualities that made Star Wars good for the first 40, 50 years, you know. And because George Lucas is out of the kitchen, now you're like trying to like mix up his recipes, but you don't have like his recipes.
Well, and I feel like they're missing like he had his pulse on the ideas. He was an idea man, but that also knew how to make it happen, and he knew what his fan base liked because they liked his ideas.
Right. It's what it feels like.
And he's also an expert storyteller who went to school for that. And also, and not that you have to go to school, but he'd been dreaming about these story ideas for years. And he knows what makes a good story because he worked with some of the greatest storytellers as well.
Yeah.
So he had crazy ideas that you'd never think of. He worked with fantastic directors and knew how to create a good story, character development, growth, and he pulled from source material that affected his life, You know what I mean? That he pulled from to create these great stories. And part of the problem with that is actually, I think, in its own way, they're also now, like, you always hear about Dave Filoni trying to pull from Akira Kurosawa as well, or pulling from all these, and that's good. But you also have to bring in kind of your own flavor, but still mix it with what George would have thought about these things and bring something new that fits in the universe. That's actually quite challenging to do without George, but you can do it with respect. And like you're saying, we're kind of simple fans for the most part. Like, just basically do the opposite of what they did.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and like Bismo said, if you main thing for me was quality over quantity. All resources should be focused on one single project. When you work for Disney, you just have to make money. So I feel like it's a cost, whatever. They just spread their wings way too wide. We got the streaming service coming out in 4 years, so you better start working on like tons of TV shows because we're going to lead with that. And oh, by the way, you got to give us a trilogy, a new movie every other year, starting in 2 years from the time they bought it. Oh, and by the way, we're going to make all these other movies in between. So they made like 5 movies in 5 years. And then they made 5-6 shows in 3 years or something.
Something crazy.
So it's true. Like, resources are finite, as we know, even at Stay on Target. But like any company, like if you spread too thin, you're going to all burn out, and it's going to be, mid. It's going to be poor quality. Some things might be great if one person puts in a ton of effort, like Tony Gilroy.
Right, and that's a great, but it also got turned into the Disney corporate machine where it was like, you just got to start cranking out material and it all better be great. But the problem, even at that point, is you almost put too many cooks in the kitchen. Like George had one singular vision.
Right, he made one movie. He made the episode 4. Then he waited 3 years and made 5. Then he waited 3 years and made 6. They were all great. Then he waited 15 years and he made episode 1. Right. And then it was like 3 years later he made episode 2. Then 3 years later he made episode 3. He didn't do any movies in between there. There was a side thing making video games.
He technically did Indiana Jones,
right? But not between episode 1, 2, and 3.
Not the prequels.
No, I'm saying when he was making a movie trilogy, he was focused on the trilogy. And then he finished that, and then he went into Clone Wars animated series, and he focused all of his energy into Clone Wars.
It's the old adage, don't half do multiple things, whole do one thing. There's a worse way of saying that. But,
so if you want to go to George, then that's what he did.
Right.
And now you think, because you have the might of Disney behind you, that you can now...
But if you have
hire 400 writers and 400 directors and 400 actors and 400 animators, it's like we can make 400 projects now.
Yeah, but it did, like, even what KG's saying here is they wanted to fill their streaming platform. Mm-hmm. So again, it came out to quantity versus quality, which is the whole point you're making.
Right, because you're looking at Netflix doing that, and Netflix was like booming after Disney bought Star Wars, like going crazy.
Yeah,
and Netflix greenlit everything, and they just needed content. They didn't care if it was good or bad. They just and that was their model, right? They made 40 bajillion movies and shows, and everybody got a movie. Everybody was acting in a Netflix series,
right?
And like 20 of them were really good.
Yeah, that was the shotgun effect.
And like 1,000 of them were like mid or low quality, but people are so like, we're showing them the next Netflix thing. And because Netflix, everybody was in there, they're like, well, did you see that? Did you see that? Everybody was watching it.
Right, for sure.
So Disney was watching.
They were trying to emulate that.
They're like, oh, see what they did? Like, if we make like 100 Star Wars shows, 4 of them will be good. We don't.
In some ways, for sure.
We run the same risk. Making a video for Stay on Target. You're like, well, maybe if we made one really, really good, big, giant, massive video, or do we do like 1,000 like shorts? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's the same kind of mentality.
When you have a finite resource,
one of them might take off. One of them, or maybe none of them do. But or maybe the big one is really, you like our friend who made the fan film, right? He's got like couple of Raph, he gets 1 million views. I mean, that's huge.
Right,
he
Brightstar
capitalized on that, and Brightstar, and he put a ton of time, years into it. But he's, so I guess there's different ways.
Kind of how we started as well with our fan films. We started there,
but long story short, Disney has no idea how to handle Star Wars, and and because they don't have like a Kevin Feige who was honestly doing a pretty good job overseeing the Marvel universe early on.
Yeah. Well,
There was
actually,
nobody
Jon
in the-
Favreau, I think, was actually the first, and then he worked with Kevin
Yeah.
in that, because Jon Favreau's actually, which funny enough, I do think that the only one that has the most amount of sense that could actually head up Lucasfilm at this point would be Jon Favreau.
Yeah. Could be.
From everything we've seen, he's just, even his track record, you look at all the hits he has over his career, and then also even just the amount of hits he has in Star Wars. I mean, he's got the best response from the fans overall.
Maybe.
I think
You
so.
got Book of Boba Fett strike. I'm like, dude. Like,
Yeah, there's that.
you
And
hurt me
season
with that
3,
one.
but there's an argument to be made about, was that fully him, or was that a lot of the directors he gave it to?
Well, he was also doing 4 other animated movies
Right.
for Disney. So it's like,
Right,
he wrote it, and then it was directed
he
by all
handed
these
it
other
over.
people.
Yeah, and you
But-
can see the effect of that. Whereas I think
Right.
The Mandalorian, especially season 1 and season 2, he was very involved, and you can see whenever,
Yeah.
like you're saying though, the quantity over quality, his focus, all of his quality
Right.
was going into that, and that was what he was solely focused
Right.
on. And you
they
could see the
they
outcome.
had written all that like sequentially. You could tell before, and they had the
Right.
volume, and they had like
Which-
complete control.
Even the volume is a great example of like a George Lucas style
Right.
thing.
It
Like
changed,
that's a totally
yes.
new way to film.
Yep,
that
and
they hadn't done
it did
before.
make it easier on them. You know, it made them like be able to be in house. I heard, which I guess we'll get into the next piece of news, but a piece of news about that too. But you know,
I think it ties in well to what you're saying, because
Favreau can do greatness. Yeah, it was his first like show though. It was a Mandalorian.
Yeah, I know.
He was in movies.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it is a crazy. Yeah, and he did a great job though, and he had help along the way. He's such a good collaborator. That's the thing I like about him. He is able to bring a lot of people together, collaborate, and come up with something fantastic, and still keep that vision that he wants, and pull from those resources that he needs to help get the content out that he needs to. Like even with his cooking show, right? Fact checker.
Yeah.
What was it called? Chef.
The chef.
And then he
Chef.
actually became really good friends with the guy in that movie that he's kind of basing his character off of. And they do
They did a show.
shows. Yeah.
Well, they made a movie and then they did shows together,
Right.
which was great with other celebrities and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But then they also pull, but like I'm saying, he pulled those resources.
Yes, yeah,
He knows how to
absolutely.
utilize those and make something great out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so basically the news that dropped is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie as it wraps its principal photography. It just
Yeah.
wrapped recently, which is crazy. So they're already done filming for the most
That's
part. They might have
shocking.
some reshoots. I would imagine they're gonna have some reshoots.
Is it really like a script from season 4 that they kind of pulled into a movie? Do you think that's what happened, or do you think people need to know anything about the first 3 seasons?
Yeah,
Because where were they writing this movie, or was it literally just in the last year since they announced it? They're like, all right, this is the next movie coming out. This has to be good, and they all maybe are actually slowing down because nothing else is coming out. Raised on the there's no other movies.
Well, there technically is another slot in 2026 for a movie, because his movie. Oh shoot! His movie actually is coming out. I think it's May
26.
of 2026.
Okay,
Hang
That
on.
sounds
but
right.
it's what?
I think it's May 22nd.
So it's the end of 2024.
2026.
So that tracks. That gives them a year and a half to do all the post production, reshoot, stuff like that. You know, that's typical for a film. It's just crazy to think that like that's the first movie they're coming out with in 7 years,
Right.
and it better be good. Yeah, they've done a lot of shows, but I'm just curious, like what the plot is, what the story is. Like, is it a rehash of season 1 where they obviously introduce them, they have to catch you up? Is it just a whatever flavor of the week, monster of the week, mini story where they can just kind of, is it a bigger movie with Ahsoka or Thrawn?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. Yeah, we don't really know. They did drop some trailers, and they had, I think Zeb was in it. They had a few, so they might be kind of leaning into the Thrawn trilogy with the Mandalorian. I'm hoping, these are just my hopes, but I'm hoping that they maybe wrap up or give us a satisfying ending with Mandalorian and Bo-Katan. That's one of the things I'm really hoping they'll do in this movie. I hope, like we've been talking about this whole show, the Mythosaur actually shows up, and I hope that they give that full, because they teased it. It would be, I think, a disservice at this point, unless it just doesn't work for the story they're trying to tell. But I think it would be, they'd be remiss if they didn't bring the Mythosaur in some capacity to kind of wrap that up. So I feel like it's going to be some storylines, or at least the major storyline possibly of season 4 has probably been converted. But then also, I think he's looking for a way to potentially wrap the Mandalorian. Okay. But there's also been rumors coming around that they're begging Favreau
for more
to stay on and make more.
Well, if it makes $1 billion,
that's the thing.
It's like, it should make $1 billion. It honestly should make $1 billion. Now, the fans have wised up a lot. I mean, not fans, but like people that have watched movies have gotten a lot smarter, and more polarized, obviously. So it's like, if this thing starts getting some negative publicity from Kathleen Kennedy or something horrible, it's not going to even come close to $1 billion, because people are going to boycott the thing.
They will.
Yeah.
So they have to keep it under wraps. But I heard that the whole thing was shot on the volume.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. That's why the set pics were so.
No.
That's why there's no leaked set pics. It's super tight-lipped, because it was all indoors.
Interesting.
Oh, I really hope.
And that made me a little nervous when I heard that.
I really hope that's not the case.
All right, and I'm hoping that's a lie from the Sarlacc pit of
Doom.
Bismo said, with inflation, if this don't make $1 billion, red alert.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it needs to hit.
By 2026, it'll be $72 a ticket.
Yeah.
And Bismo was also saying, he's definitely excited. I'm skeptical of any other movies actually being made other than this Mandoverse timeline, i.e. the Dawn of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he asked when that's coming out, 2030. No way they meet that slate.
Bismo, once you have grown children, they'll release the next Star Wars movie.
I mean, they're obviously working on some, and I think, I think
maybe
technically they said that the guy who made the latest bomb that was Indiana Jones.
He's doing the Dawn of the Jedi.
I think he's doing the Dawn of the Jedi one. And I think they said he's still in active production, but who knows?
If you talk about Dawn of anything, all anybody's going to talk about is the Acolyte, which is officially been panned as the worst thing ever, 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 ever. I mean, across the board, it's embarrassing for people to even talk about.
That's I've heard is the final straw when it came.
So you can't go back.
I heard something that again, these are all rumors. So rumor was that KK put all her eggs almost into that basket, and now that it did,
the Rey movie,
right, and you obviously can see her agenda from a mile away, and it's not working, and Disney knows, and there's even rumors happening now that the Bob Iger might not even be able to help pick his successor, that they're already looking for his replacement because everything's fallen apart.
The only way to get
so
people
much
excited
in Disney right now
would be bring George Lucas in and say, yo, Georgie bought it back. But at that point, it doesn't work. He's done.
What a 4D chess move that would be, though, if he sold Disney and they gave it he bought it back for way cheaper than what he sold it for. I mean, and then got it back on track. You know how much of a legacy,
or if Disney just sold it to Paramount or Fox. Well, if they own Fox,
they own Fox. That's the problem. Who would they even sell it to unless they sold it to Netflix?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be huge. Otherwise, they could. Well, Apple's always kind of looking around to buy things.
If Apple bought it, that would be pretty.
Amazon
cool.
could possibly look at. They might buy the studio, but
the problem
the
is
way they treated Tolkien. Oh my goodness! Yeesh.
It was funny. You shared that post about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Tying into this, it was today, and then on Instagram, I saw 3 or 4 posts that were similar, but not
about the
they didn't
date.
predict it back then.
Yeah. Oh, there was a lot of fans. So what
so funny.
You're talking about, fact checker, is what this was it today?
Today's the 12-year anniversary. Yeah.
That
Star Wars got sold.
Was it announced, or was it that was actually bought by?
That's when they took the pictures. They shook hands.
So they announced that Disney bought Star Wars Lucasfilm.
Bob Iger convinced George Lucas to sell, and they did.
salesman, I guess. And at the time, you can't really fault George in some ways, though, at the time, for the fact that back then, Disney was, 2012, man, Disney was, it was all hits, and they were the biggest. I mean, really. Disney was huge.
Oh, yeah, they were rocking.
They couldn't miss for the most part back
Pirates
in
of the
2012.
Caribbean, you
got all these crazy
all
franchises.
the animated great stuff that they've been doing on the animated front.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pixar was not missing basically at all back then. And then it's like went downhill. I think after 2016 is whenever things really started to
Yeah. If you think about, though, with George Lucas, like his personal life, he wrote the prequels and, he got lambasted.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
And made fun of for like 10 years. And then he did the animated stuff and got lambasted for the first year about bringing in Ahsoka.
Right. Yeah.
and then that started to hit and people were like, wow, this is actually really good. And so he was doing really good in that world, but there was no movies on the horizon, at that point. And he probably knew, at that point, 2012,
it
had been 6 years since they had 5 years, 7 years since they had made a movie. And he's, getting older, 70 years old. He's like, do I really want to go down that rabbit trail? People like half of the time when they mention my name, they laugh. And half the time they mention my name, like they say I'm a genius.
Yeah, he is a genius, really.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying, but he'd taken so much crap to be like, this is the time. He's and Iger has been, they've been doing some good things with Marvel. So he's like, look, we can take it off your hands for a lot of money. You can walk off into the sunset.
I'm sure they were the biggest game in town to buy it.
But
they
I'm
gave him
saying
the most money.
But the fandom, like at that point, was kind of in a weird spot in 2012. Like, of course, we all still love the originals. More people were acknowledging that the prequels were pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And so, because you guys were growing up, the younger generation that watched those as kids is growing up like, we love the prequels. So then it was you guys that, like, when the sequels came out, were ready to rock. And the original trilogy people that didn't like the prequels
were ready for something
new,
fresh. Yeah,
because it was a continuation of 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Well, then 7 comes out. They kill off Han Solo.
Oof.
All of the old trilogy people are out.
Yeah. And
they're like, why did you kill Han Solo? Why didn't Luke show up?
Why didn't you put them all together again? That's like the one thing you had to do.
Why did Leia not hug Chewie?
So silly things.
You're dumping on, and they spent so much of the movie introducing Rey and Finn and Poe, and this is the new characters. We don't care about the old ones very much, and they proved it. So the old trilogy people liked it. Then the prequel trilogy kids are like, something's not right about this. I can't tell what yet.
Like in the beginning, a lot of people bought into it because it was just new Star Wars.
It was exciting to be a part of it as an adult now instead of being a kid.
Right. And
so
you're
like,
excited to pass it
So
on.
it made $1 bajillion, of course. It should have. And then all the old trilogy people are out. 7 comes out, turns off the prequel people.
People saw past. I feel like they saw past the original trilogy. People saw past the copycat format that he did. Not in a good way.
Right. I don't know. And so it's just been a constant mess since 2012 is where I'm going. Like 2012, it's not like things were like peachy keen. But there was time and people there was a lot of fan film. Like we made the fan film. Right. People could breathe.
Fans were still at a fever pitch in a lot of ways.
Creating lightsabers, choreography, creating fan films.
And it was still inspiring your imagination.
You could pretend that the Thrawn trilogy happened. You could live on with your original characters without knowing what happened to your guys or girls.
Yeah, because Legends gave you such a better experience when it came to your childhood heroes in Star Wars.
Yes.
They treated it with respect and they continued on that story in a way that was they were still your heroes.
Yeah.
And they grew and they became better over time. They aged well. It wasn't aged horribly and they all died.
Right. Like it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why are they like that now? They're completely different.
Yeah, and oh shoot, I had another point, but now I'm forgetting it. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, they wrapped production on it, and it's coming out May 22nd, is what I saw.
Okay.
Here, directed by
just before the 50th anniversary.
Just before the 50th. That's crazy. 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be what they were shooting for then.
Will John Williams do the music? Probably not.
Well, he said recently that he's not retiring.
I know, but I hope he does the music.
I feel like he
It's-
could be working on it right now.
But they brought in
Hopefully.
Giacchino and they brought in some other people for some of the mid movies, that weren't around the Skywalker saga. Is there going to be Skywalker people? Because they're in the volume, the pro I can see is that they could do any sneaky stuff they wanted to.
Right.
They could do anything.
Yeah, and
They
then
could
get
bring
away
in
with it
anybody.
because
Nobody's
and
gonna
no
leak
leaks.
it. Yep.
That's part of what made Grogu showing
Mm-hmm.
up, Baby Yoda showing up, so impactful is because there were literally no leaks.
Yeah.
So it gets me excited. I got the mystery box, the Star Wars mystery box, and Favreau's pretty good at it. Filoni lied to Bo-Katan and told her that wasn't Luke on set, that
Right.
it was Plo Koon.
Yeah,
Until she watched it live, she was like, wait, that was Luke.
yeah, that's nuts. Dude.
She was angry and called Filoni and like, you lied to me.
Oh, wouldn't
Yeah.
you be angry? Yeah.
Well, yeah, when you're acting
I
and
know.
thinking it's this person, and then you're like,
Yeah.
no, it's a different person. That's bizarre.
That is
But
bizarre.
it's that kind of stuff that their own directors are tricking their own actors.
But it's also what George Lucas did for the reveal of Darth Vader being his father.
That's very true.
So it is still in line with how George did
is
things.
true,
They
yeah.
they are using what George used in the past, and that's why I think Jon Favreau is the one to do it.
Yep.
And he did it in a way, just such a great way, and that's why I think now more than ever, I think Jon Favreau is more the heir apparent. I know you think with the Book of Boba, which I don't. I think he does need to own up to Book of Boba Fett,
Because
and
he was so proud of that. I was like,
yeah,
the Mando stuff in there was good, but the rest of
Yeah.
it was so bad.
I think he needs to own up to Book of Boba Fett, and he also needs to own up to Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
I think that there was more others involved with making those not so successful and not so good.
Probably.
But I don't think I think he wrote or did a lot of the story or gave a lot of story ideas to people to facilitate those
Yeah.
coming about, because his baby was still the Mandalorian, and I think he directed specifically I think he did the Mandalorian episode, and that's why that one was so good.
You just got to be delicate. If you come out with a movie called Luke Skywalker, and it's set directly after the events of Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
and then you bring in some Billy Bob McGee who's never watched Star Wars to write the
Right.
Luke Skywalker movie. Well, I got kind of a story idea, but then you bring in some low life to write this. Like, you have to, like, that is your brand. Like, Boba
Yeah.
Fett was like a side character, but he had a legit following. And then when The Mandalorian came out, the reason The Mandalorian was so exciting is because that's what Boba Fett kind of was to us.
Yeah, it was. It was supposed to be, and that's he wanted to do Boba Fett, is what I've heard. I heard that he wanted to do Boba Fett, but they didn't want to
Exactly.
go with Boba Fett. They wanted to do a new
And
character.
he showed up in Mando, and you're like, that looks like Boba Fett.
Season 2 Boba Fett was awesome.
You're like, that looks pretty cool. And then it just went downhill from there. And then you start off with like terribly explaining how he got out of the Sarlacc pit.
Oh my goodness!
Like,
That you literally used
First 5 minutes
from Parks
were
and
like,
Rec.
This is
the doofus who came up with that in Parks and Rec.
I know. He gave it.
And they used that. There was better explanation of that in lore
That's-
and the Legends material
Right.
than there was.
But that's
in
what I'm saying.
that.
But that was Favreau. It's like, dude, you got to come up with something.
Or
better
the
than
story
that.
group. Could have been the story group,
Could have
and
been
it
the
could have
story
been
group.
even Robert
But
Rodriguez.
you feel like Favreau would know better, though.
Yeah, I
Be
know.
like, no, we can't do that. That's
He's-
my favorite character.
he still had to.
But that show
approve.
is hugely popular, so they thought people would
Parks
like
and
it.
Rec.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they were leaning into that, which that's the
Really?
wrong. That's the horribly
Wow.
wrong way to go about it. They
Yeah,
need
it's
to look
crossover
at. They really need to look at
appeal,
Legends a lot more. I think them throwing away Legends is one of the worst mistakes they ever made in Disney Star Wars. I understand why they did it, and they're cherry picking, but I feel like they should have really taken a lot more from Legends and used that, because it's already established. It already has a fan base. It kept Star Wars alive for a long time, and to completely think that you arrogant people, writers, can do better than what's already been proven and tested. I mean, I don't understand, even in the Disney machine,
Yeah.
why they wouldn't just copy and paste and bring to life. I mean, books coming to movies, it happens all the time. That just makes sense to me. But yeah, he's got to own up for a few things. I see Bismo here says, I would still put more faith in Filoni, but they should be working together. I think they do their best work together. I just think that Filoni's a better resource when it comes to lore and stuff like that. But Favreau's, I think, got better ideas and better execution of those ideas when he's solely focused on one thing. and he knows how to put a team together. He knows how to work with people, and I think he's taking Star Wars more seriously than almost anybody at Lucasfilm, and it shows in the material and how excited he was to bring even Luke Skywalker back, and the way that he brought him back with respect is also, I think, legendary.
Because he could do it again.
Because, I mean, even looking at Filoni with Ahsoka, he brought back in... I thought he did better in the animated version of Thrawn in Rebels. Rebels was good. The way he brought Thrawn into that, I didn't have a problem with. I thought he did a good job. But then Thrawn in live action is a whole nother story. And even the creator of Thrawn is like, dude, don't mess this up. Like, you're messing this up. It's not that hard. And they're not consulting him. I mean, how dumb is that?
Yeah.
I find that idiotic, but anyway,
it's crazy. But I'm glad that Favreau's heading the Mandalorian movie, at least. And he's a good filmmaker. He knows how to make good, entertaining movies. And I'm sure there's nothing more that Star Wars wants than to make entertainment for their Star Wars fans. That's all we really want, just to be entertained.
Yeah, we don't want to be thinking about 2020, whatever we're in.
Yes.
Whenever we're watching Star
I don't
Wars.
want to be looking at, I'm sick and tired of looking at these shows, and there's one person on camera, and then the camera goes, and there's one person on camera, and then the camera goes back, and there's one person on camera. Because they've got all these restrictions for 10 years saying that nobody can be within 8 feet of each other in the same room.
Right.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Let's put them together and like high five. Like, not like fake high five where it's like two different hands. You know what I'm saying? Like,
same hands.
Like, I feel like a lot of these shows and movies, I'm sick and you can absolutely tell when like, oh, there were restrictions on this movie set. So like they only had this guy over here. And these things happen, but it's like, I'm ready to see them like interacting and moving around. And maybe Luke shows up in Rex shop again, or maybe Han Solo de-aged comes in.
At this
and
at this
see
point,
any of these people.
At this point, they need to get back to the basics of what made Star Wars great. What characters made it great, but also why those characters were great and why people were attached to them. They need to really hone in, study Star Wars. The people at Lucasfilm, I don't think are studying, and they think they know.
Right. Turning off all of the original trilogy fans and working against the majority of people that love Star Wars is not working.
No, clearly. Yeah.
Let's just flip it around and like go back to some of those people.
Right.
And see if we can make them happy again. Once they're happy, oh my goodness, we're going to make so much money.
If you can get the billions of people or millions of people that absolutely love Star Wars, at least the original trilogy Star Wars and George Lucas Star Wars, if you can get them back on board, you're going to make money.
You've embarrassed like Star Wars brand so many times now. It may not ever be retrievable, but people have short minds. People like move on and they'll come back and try it again.
And it has to be a "What have you done for me lately?" That's what it comes down to. If the only thing in recent history I can think of in Star Wars was terrible, The Acolyte, or all these other shows we're talking about that are terrible, people are turned off, and they don't even want to give it a chance if the track record's been that bad, especially if they know it's been done by the same people who did the garbage before.
Yeah.
And that's where I think they do need a regime change. I actually think they need a new... KK needs to be out. They need to be under new management and somebody to come in and be like, all right, the way it's been is total garbage. We know that you guys haven't been happy. Let's turn things around. We're going to bring you Star Wars you love again and give us a chance. But it's still going to take a few... It's still going to take a few hits before it gets back to that peak. It's not going to be peak. I don't think it's ever going to be peak Star Wars again. Back in the days of like episode 4, 5, and 6, even
I'd say George Lucas.
Yeah, there's no George Lucas, but they can get close, and they might be able to get close with like going and either bringing other things to life that Star Wars fans loved, like original trilogy stuff. But they got to do it faithfully to the source material, and that's where I think they're running into so many problems. But
yeah, it was a fun experiment to try these last few shows and movies and whatnot. But yeah, go back to what works.
Yeah, because you've watered it down enough. Like it was, you had to try it because Disney wanted you to try it. But it's almost like Lucasfilm needs to stand up for their own brand in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, stop it, Disney. Like, if you had a good leader at Lucasfilm is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But like, leave us alone for like a year. We're going to come up with something incredible. It's going to make you so much money. It's going to turn Star Wars on its head, and people are going to be all in again.
Yeah.
We know how to do it.
Right.
We just need a few minutes, maybe. But there's nobody leading the ship over there to do that.
And nobody
necessarily.
trusts. Disney doesn't trust them at this point to do that.
Right, or Favreau or Filoni. But I mean,
Nobody.
But then to say,
Well, and that's why they're putting all their eggs basically in Favreau and Filoni, because that is on
only thing that's
paper
work.
the only thing that has been financially
Right, it's just-
successful for them.
it's just common sense. It's just common sense.
Yeah.
So
The customer is always right. That's what it comes down to, and you have to make money when you're a business.
if you want to make money, if you don't want to make money, then keep going. But if you want to make money, like, here's all my money when you make good stuff.
Right.
Like, we'll buy the toys, we'll buy the shirts, we'll talk about it forever. We'll be excited. You
Well,
know,
and we'll be so excited in that material that we will want to create our own little section of that material.
Right.
I mean, that's why we
it's
created.
exponential.
That's why we
when
created fan films, and that's why people create things in Star Wars, and that's why people want to go so in depth into Star Wars, because it's just this universe that people can escape from reality in and have so much fun building their own reality.
Star Wars
in
has
some
always
ways.
been an escape, so stop making it
reality.
unescape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, let's escape from the world that we live in here and go have fun in Star Wars Galaxy.
Right.
Stop reminding me of like 2024.
Yeah, and calling that edgy
Yeah,
when everybody's been doing it for like
exactly.
10 years now almost. All right, cool. Well, that will about do it for the show. That's most of the news. I mean, there's been other things that have dropped, but not too much. We'll probably be getting back into Skeleton Crew here soon. I know that's ramping up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. I am actually still looking forward to that. I'm tentative.
Speaking of 2024,
Right, exactly. You never know. I mean, really, at this point, if it's going to be good or not. I don't have my hopes really high for this, just with everything that's coming out. How about
Yeah.
you, Dan? Do you have your hopes high?
my hopes are under the rug.
Yeah.
Like, they're so low, like I have to like lift up the rug and sweep them back out, and then maybe pick them up.
Yeah.
And like dust off the dust and be like, oh yeah, there's Star Wars. And maybe if it like shines up a little bit, we'll be like, oh, there's hope.
Right.
But this was made during the era of I can't stand with you on the screen and you can't stand with me on the screen. You were a little like fake thing. And
Was
I
it
don't know.
actually? Are you?
When did they film it? I don't know. Didn't they film it all in the same? Sure looks very similar to the other shows when you watch the
Right. It's
The
got
look
that
of
same kind of
aliens
look
and
of things.
little shiny.
Began in
Digitalis.
September 2022 and wrapped in late January 2023.
Right. So it's near the end of this thing, but
They
it's-
might have got away from that by then. Were they away from that by then?
I don't know.
Oh,
Everything
man,
else in
that's close,
2024
though.
has been. I'd be curious when they filmed Ahsoka in relation to that
Oh, Ahsoka was definitely, during that whole,
time. Oh yeah,
Time.
so bad.
which was bad. Yeah, agreed.
Oh, Lord.
Which puts a lot of restrictions, stuff like that.
mean,
Which I think he's still working on. Isn't he still working on season 2 of Ahsoka? And I think, is he still working on his Heir to Empire?
We need some answers.
Is that what's coming out after?
Yeah, that would
Is
make
the
sense.
Heir to the Empire
That would
movie
make sense.
coming out like in December? Because I saw that there was like 2 slots in 2026 that are
Yeah.
supposed to have movies from Lucasfilm, and I think one is, well, it's obviously Mandalorian Grogu, but I thought the second one, a lot of people were speculating that it would be Mangold who's doing the Dawn of the Jedi, but I don't think that's happening.
We should get another animated movie.
Yeah, just do animated at this point.
It's an animated movie that's really good.
Right, and that's
That's what Filoni should be doing with Heir to the Empire.
That is actually something else I saw, which was I think Lucasfilm or Disney were hiring a bunch of 3D animators recently, and that they might be looking to
Fine.
come out with a 3D animated either
I mean,
movie
I know
or
they're
show.
expensive. I know they're expensive, but like, holy smokes, if you do it right, like
But yeah, one of the ideas though was that people were saying where they might be doing the Thrawn
animated.
animated,
That
or
would be
that might be
amazing.
what Ahsoka season 2 / Heir to the Empire might be going back to Dave's.
Fine with me.
Dave's well, he really had
Rebels
success
universe? Yeah.
was in animation, and he might be going back to that. So
I think he should. I think he should because that's what he's extremely good at. It was a good experiment. but leave the movies to the other dudes.
Yeah.
Let's use Filoni for his story ideas and the animated stuff because he's so good at that.
He
and in the
is.
animated space, you could have Luke and Leia and everybody you want.
That would be
and
the
not
best
judge
medium,
them.
I think, in some ways, to bring to life the heir to the Empire.
And you can make it look
the
really
easiest.
good. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, I mean, that's next level animation.
Isn't that
but,
3D animation as well?
It's like every kind of
Yeah,
animation
it's crazy.
blended together. So you don't have to do that crazy, but every scene is an art piece and it's incredible story, and it's as good as any live action thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and those are becoming more popular because again, it comes down to the story and how you present it, and those have been absolutely.
And there's the
fantastic.
animated LOTR movie that you're talking about.
Yeah, Biz just said that as well. Yeah, I'm slightly nervous about that one, to be honest. I want it to be good, but it feels a lot like
2024.
Yeah, 2024 with
The trailer felt like 2024. I have a feeling the show itself is going to be better because it's,
movie?
I think, or the movie itself is going to be better than the trailer. I feel like the trailer is trying to get people's eyes on it on like X to be like, oh, look at that, we're going to go watch this thing.
Yeah.
And then it's got to be better than that.
I feel like they've done more of a disservice by who they're focusing on more instead of who the character.
I feel like
they
the
should be.
trailer leaned into that. I don't think that's actually going to.
You don't think she's the main character?
No, she's
though?
the main character, but
right?
I
Which
feel
doesn't that feel like 2024 with
like
everything?
It can, yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
We're a little trigger happy when it's
Well, and that comes right on the heels of, especially in Lord of the Rings, which now we're into. That right after the show, Rings of Power,
Rings of Flowers,
Rings of just garbage, man. That I couldn't even.
Rings of I can't.
I couldn't
watch
even
it.
bring myself to continue watching the second season. Like
We
the first
stopped.
season, I was watching it for the train wreck that it was, and then the second season, I was like, I can't even do it. I'm out.
When it happened, like shortly after Acolyte, you're like, oh Lord.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. 2024.
I'm like,
That's
I
like the
don't-
nicest way we're putting it.
Yeah, I don't know if we can continue on with this low down. Give me something. Surely there are better things out there in the world. Surely somebody can write Lord of the Rings.
Oh, there
with
are
quality,
100%.
and produce it and get it made in
We
2024.
could make a better. That's the thing. Fans of
Right.
the series, you don't have to pull on these people
I
like
know.
these so-called directors and writers that are just in the space because they do the 2024 thing.
Yeah.
Bring in fans that actually love that's the problem. That's what what's his name? Peter Jackson at that time was a huge fan and adapted it as faithfully as possible.
It's just a sign of the times, which is why it's 2024.
Yeah.
Like this time needs to go be deleted because of the way that entertainment is being made.
I think in the
And
history of film,
The people that they're making it for, because it's never been a time like this where things swung this far away from staying true to anything just to appease a certain small demographic online. So
Right.
it's like you're literally throwing everything out that's always made sense when it comes to writing stories to appease like an X account, Twitter follower.
right, like a small majority of
Because-
I mean, not majority, a
Because
minority
they will talk
of
about it
people.
or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's like you usually make a movie and then let everybody decide because you want everybody to go see it.
Right.
You don't make it so that 20 people over here will talk about it and make a bunch of squeaky
Well,
noise.
and in your circle, that's the thing. They're making it for themselves in their own little bubble that they have instead of for the masses.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, we make
because
stuff,
they've gotten so far away, I feel like, from reality.
yeah. Well,
Too many people in Hollywood and all these writers, directors,
exactly.
they've gotten so far away from reality that they're making stuff for them, thinking that that's reality, when in fact, it's not. It's not reality that we all live in. It's just they're making it for their own little reality, which doesn't make any sense to majority of people, and they're financially suffering
But
because they're
everybody's so
not
short-sighted though too. Like, what can give me $10 right now?
I guess.
You know, so it's like if I can
What's the
cash
hot
in on
new
this
thing?
right now,
Yeah.
I don't really care if it stays true to any long-term stuff. But then this is what happens long-term, like Star Wars.
Right.
Here we are 10 years later.
I know. Speaking of long term, we went long on this week's episode. The Versus series was a blast, and also the game was absolutely epic. And this discussion has been fun. I've definitely been enjoying it. So many things that we talked about here in the news segment. But we hope you enjoyed it, and you guys can get on board. We're just passionate, mostly just passionate about Star Wars, and we want to see it back in its heyday. We want to see it doing great so we can praise it and just have so much fun and escape from 2024 reality when you're watching this now or possibly in the future. When we escape from this reality and we want to go into Star Wars reality, which is where we really want to be. So we hope you guys had fun with this in this episode.
Yeah, I want the full fight scene now.
Yeah. Got 2 quick questions.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Probably should have pulled up earlier.
Yeah,
but,
go right ahead. We'll finish off real quick with these last 2 questions,
missed 'em.
and then we'll get the gonk out of here.
Yeah, Bismo asked, is Nick truly evil? Because I bet he is actually a softie and has a big heart.
You know what?
It's probably from very early in the show. Sorry,
Probably
Bismo.
from early in the show.
I'm guessing he has a soft heart, but I've never seen it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. Shots fired.
I haven't seen his heart. I'm not a doctor.
Oh, specifically. Yeah, that's a good point.
Literally.
Well,
Yes.
right now it's hard because he's frozen in carbonite.
Yeah.
Because he forgot to set his alarm.
So he has a hard heart
Yeah.
because he's frozen.
So he's kind of got a heart made of stone at the moment. But I think once he gets out of the carbonite, it'll be back to
Does
it.
carbonite just freeze your externals?
I think you're fully
It's
like
through and through.
it's like frozen. Yeah. I don't know the full base. Like I don't know the details. I'm not the scientist.
Well, when you find out, let me know.
I'll have to do some research on this for days.
Because you think about freezing things, like they're usually pretty frozen.
Right.
But
And
when you unfreeze them, they're not alive anymore.
a lot of the times. I mean, there have been certain things where there's like living tissue,
I
but
guess.
as far as like, I don't know. Anyway, cryo freezing is a whole nother thing.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no. He deep down, I think he does have a soft heart.
He's
as well, but-
good with pets, so that proves that he has a soft
and
heart.
pets like him quite
That's
a
what I'm
bit. Yeah,
saying,
he is
so.
great with pets. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's
No,
usually an indicator.
He's got a good heart. He's a good dude. He acts tough, but
Okay, and KG asked, cutest or favorite Star Wars creature?
cutest or favorite? Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to go Krayt Dragon. No, I'm just joking.
It's your favorite.
The way it vomits up acid is
Yeah,
so
right.
adorable to me.
Wow.
No,
Yeah, good
cutest.
question.
I feel it's hard to not say the Oh shoot,
The leak? Or meek?
The Reek or
Reek?
Meek?
Right,
Treek?
no. On Endor. Wow, am I
Ewok.
Ewoks? It's kind of hard not to say Ewoks,
Right.
Yeah.
That's hard. Does not
Especially
say
the
Ewok.
baby. The baby Ewok,
The baby is
especially,
pretty cute.
was absolutely adorable. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What about you? Hard
yeah,
to say.
Yeah, Ewoks are pretty cute. I guess they're not bad. I didn't really love them that much because I could just tell it was little people in suits. It always bothered me.
Did it?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
it did.
okay.
It took me out. It
Wow.
still takes me out to this day when I watch Lord of the Rings, and it's like they're just like shorter people. In the,
You heard it here
in the
tonight.
distant shots.
Dan doesn't like
It
short
takes me out of it.
Yeah, Dan.
That is not the guys. It's just
Yeah, well, that's their actual size, though. That's why they use them as.
better movie magic. Come on.
Wow.
Goodness.
But it just bothers me. So I don't know. That's fine. The cutest creatures.
I
What
like
other
how you
creatures
were
are there?
We're looking for the cutest creature, and he's somehow offended.
Yeah.
I know the Ewoks are like that's what I mean, but that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
they were kind of cute, but like if there was an actual like, is there an actual animal that they ever used and like dressed up or something? No.
Well, I mean, if you look here, I mean, there's
Oh yeah.
the Loth
The
cat.
elephant.
Yeah, you got the elephant, technically, the bantha.
I mean the Loth cats, I would say,
You think they're pretty cute?
are kind of cute. And they didn't look very cute in the Ahsoka show. They look kind of
Kind of creepy.
on
On the Uncatty Valley. It was the Uncanny Valley. It was pretty. It was like Cheshire Cat a little bit.
But
A
up
little
until
creepy.
then, I liked the Loth cats with my guy Ezra. So let's say Loth cat.
What about the Loth Wolves?
They're pretty cool too, but I wouldn't call them cute.
You wouldn't call them cute? Okay. I feel like they could be if they wanted to, but
Yeah.
they're kind of ginormous for that.
Yeah, but what's your favorite creature though?
Well, I think the cutest is the Ewoks and the baby Ewok, especially to me, because they're like little teddy bears. You know, that's cute. The Porgs bugged me. Maybe
I
it
was
was
gonna
just
say the Porgs.
the
I
Porgs-
thought they were cute.
You thought they were cute?
pretty-
Okay, I was
they
gonna
were
say.
pretty
No, that's-
funny.
You can dislike them. That's fine.
Yeah, I thought they
My
were
favorite part
cute.
was whenever Chewie was eating one.
I know that was so
That was the
mean.
best part of that movie for me.
I thought the frogs in Return of the Jedi were pretty cute that he eats.
Return of the. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
wow.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
fair.
What about you, KG?
Yeah, what about you? Let us know. Yeah, I'm trying to. Also, a lot of the people like those. Speaking of Last Jedi, they like those crystal foxes.
Oh, those are pretty cool, actually. Yeah, they looked really cool.
They kind of seem more cool than cute, though. That was
Cold.
like, how do you quantify cute? I guess.
Yeah.
Like cute seems like soft and
You just
fuzzy.
know when you see it.
You just
Yeah.
know when you
You
see
just-
it.
that's
It's
cute.
subjective.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Chewbacca cute?
Yeah, in some ways.
Okay.
Yeah. He's furry.
I feel like, but it's it's almost a size thing for me.
yeah, and typically it's small, something small.
But I guess it also how they act, how it acts,
But,
can be very
Well,
cute.
you think of that, whatever that creature is, and make it a little tiny baby.
True.
Yeah, that would,
What would
like,
be the
like the
cutest?
Ewok thing. Yeah.
Yeah, or like a wampa.
Terrifying, but as a baby might be pretty cute.
You know, like a baby blurg.
Still terrifying. That's a piranha.
Baby mudhorn.
Oh, that would be cute.
That might be cute.
Okay.
Might be cute.
Baby rancor. We saw one.
We
It was
did.
kind of cute in the
Yeah.
show, but not really. It was cute-ish. It had a little personality.
I feel like it almost needs to just be like fuzzy though for some reason. Like it needs to be for maybe that's just me.
Baby Zillow beast. Was
But
not
that's
very
still gonna be
cute.
ginormous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Don't think
The
too
fuzzy.
deep.
did you have any other ones, fact checker? This is probably a better question for you.
I stick with the porg.
You like the
cute.
porgs the best.
Yeah, because they were small and had good sounds to them,
Mm-hmm.
cute sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else creature wise, small creature wise. That's
Minox.
Minox are not cute. I mean, unless they are to you, but
No.
they're not to me. They're kind
The
of creepy.
bats, like
Yeah.
bat things. No, those aren't.
Somebody out there is like, I love Minox. Don't talk bad about gonks. The gonk droids. That's pretty cute.
It's like a baby gonk.
It's a baby gonk. Can you imagine?
Wow, a little,
It's
like
like a
it
little
grows
double
up.
A. It's
Does
like a
it
little
really?
double A battery.
Do they grow up?
Do they grow up?
And they
Actually,
could get parts added.
And Zellen's KG said is her favorite. What's an Zellen?
nice. What's that?
Yeah,
Let's
we've
look it
looked
up.
at those.
I'm looking it up.
It's a thing.
Good job. It's a
Nailed it.
creature.
Oh, is it frog lady?
no, that's
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Bobo Frick.
Yeah, Babu
Babu,
Frick.
sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm thinking
Babu
Boba.
Frick.
Boba Frick.
Hey! Oh man.
Yeah,
That-
those are pretty cute.
Oh, that is pretty cute. Kind of weird in some ways, but still pretty cute. Oh, what about? What do you say it? Baby Yoda, Grogu,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
cute.
he's-
especially season
in
one.
baby
Yeah.
form. Yeah,
Season one, baby Grogu, I think is the cutest.
yeah. It probably
Season
takes
two, I
the-
want to smack him, but
Whoa.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause
and
he was-
3.
yeah, season
bit.
2 and 3, not really. It's just parenting wise, it was annoying.
Right.
to
If
me.
you're a parent, like clearly the people writing that are not parents, or they don't know what the heck they're doing.
I don't know. Maybe I think they were going for comedic timing more
Yeah.
than anything. But all right, great questions. Thank you for submitting those, everybody. You guys are awesome. You gonkers are the best. If you've made it to the end of this show, wow, more power
Did
to
we
you.
did we take you out of 2024 for like 2 or 3 hours?
Probably not when we said
Oh, that's
2024
true.
a thousand
I
times.
shouldn't say
But
that. But
yeah,
the beasts. The first
beasts.
hour was pretty good.
the first hour and a half, I'd say. I mean, this whole thing's been good, but we
Don't
covered a lot of stuff.
rate it now.
We're rating. What would we rate this episode?
But I
of
did
Stand
look
Up?
up for Skeleton Crew information. I did look up. They ended the 2020 limitations to filming, if you will,
Yeah.
Right.
in May of 2023. So technically, that shouldn't have been part of, or did I?
You said 2022.
It's
Oh, shoot.
2022,
Okay, so
early
it was.
23.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh,
So it was,
shoot.
yeah.
You
I
might
knew
be
it.
right then, Dan.
So-
Oh,
We'll
I knew
see.
it. You can tell it in the trailer.
Yeah, just
That
'cause
just
a lot
knocks-
of them have things on their faces.
A lot of aliens.
Yes.
There's
Ah.
one human and one alien.
That just
doesn't-
knocked down my excitement for the show,
But doesn't
honestly.
mean they still didn't do a good job.
Yeah, they
Things
could
were maybe getting
They could
more
maybe
relaxed.
learn from the last few shows and change a couple of things and re-edit or cut.
Right.
Like the Corcoran cut and the other people that cut these
Oh,
shows
yeah.
down into a movie. Let's just get rid of the fat and make this thing like
Look at those-
really
yeah.
on point.
They need to get him editing their material.
Make it like really good.
That's all we're asking. Just make it really good.
Make
Duh.
it really good.
But
What?
oh, I was just gonna say, but Other than it being Goonies, now it's got, I guess, 2 knocks against it.
Eesh. Yeah, it's
Because
making
it was
me
filmed
nervous.
during that time or whatever. Yeah.
But still have
But-
hope.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
so
we'll
the,
give it a fair
the biggest plus for me actually still is just the lead
Yes, yeah, for sure. Actor.
actor.
Because he's going to be panned the whole movie or the whole show. He's going to be like the third most important character.
He probably is. It's probably going to be a bait and switch. He's probably not even going to make it very far.
I mean,
You're probably right.
he's in the trailer.
Dang
They're
it.
leading with him in the trailer. What happened to Trinity?
Yeah, that's a great
Oh,
point.
man. All right.
I know.
The chances of it going south are
I think our hopes
very high.
we definitely need to temper our hopes for this show, at least from the track record.
But
that
it'll
we've
be
got.
fun watching it, and if it's absolute hogwash,
It can't. At this point, I don't think it's going to be as bad as the Acolyte. At least,
yeah,
I mean, there's still a chance.
it's definitely not as bad as the Acolyte.
That's how they're going to promote it. They're going to be like, beat the Acolyte numbers because that's already rock bottom.
Oh man, we need to come up with like a board because when we give the reviews, we're like, that's 2 out of 10. We got to have like a
gauge?
a whiteboard with the magnets or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like the top is like Mandalorian season 1, Andor.
You're talking like what's that show? Top Gear. They had that for cars and times.
Yes. At the very
Yeah.
bottom is Ahsoka, so it's like, or Ahsoka. I'm sorry, Acolyte.
Acolyte's way at the bottom.
Right, and then they're all categorized by us. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you'd be like,
I
all
like
right, this
that
was
idea.
boom, this was here, and then you can like temper that as the show episodes unravel. You know what I'm saying? Like by episode 6, it's gotten a lot better. It's gotten a lot worse.
Right.
You just kind of stick it in the middle. Oh, this is whatever.
Yeah. No, that's a good. That would be awesome.
Is
We
it
do
8
need that.
episodes? Are each episode 28 minutes? Like we're all triggered by these things now. You know, like it's another 26 minutes of no story. I was like 4 minutes of actual story and 22 minutes of filler.
It's going to take 8 episodes to get through one arc, but we're
Right.
going to go off on 5 different tangents
Right,
through
we're
that
gonna
one
go
arc.
meet Jack Black again and what's
my
her name
God,
for like 3
please,
episodes.
Please, no.
I mean, anything can happen.
You're giving me flashbacks, Dan. We need to stop this.
This is the skeleton crew.
I think it should have been what I sent you guys earlier, or yesterday, I think, which was just a GIF. It's that skeleton crew.
Oh.
It's just the scene where where Luke is panning his home, and then there's
That was
his
amazing.
aunt and uncle has skeletons,
That's
and it just
so
says
perfect.
skeleton crew.
I loved that. That's so funny.
I still think
It's
that's
so
what
dark,
it should be. It's just a bait and switch, and that was just the joke.
That's the end.
They
That's
just
it.
leaned into it. They made this whole fake thing for months, and it's actually just that.
That would be absolutely amazing.
I would give
It's
them more
actually not a
props
show.
for that than if they came out with another mid Star Wars show.
Yeah, please give us one more mid Star Wars show to finish off the year.
No, we want great, but let's be honest, it's probably going to be mid.
We got 2 so far this year that were blah blah blah.
But you never know until you watch
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
we
Oh,
got to
yeah.
wait for judgment until we watch the show. We're just telling you that we don't have super high hopes for this coming out. Although,
What date is
hopefully
it? December 3rd?
Yeah, it's pretty early December.
Yeah, I think it's December 3rd.
Okay.
So that's coming up quick.
Nice.
Just about a month away. So
What a Christmas gift.
what a Christmas gift this might be.
December 3rd, yeah.
I don't know. They did have some good
2
Star Wars coming out.
episode release that day.
Oh, it's a double episode release because that means that it's really good. It's double good.
They've done that with almost every show, right?
I know, and it's not
it's
been
not been
good. And when they do a double header, they're like, because there's not enough story in the first one, we gotta go
Yeah,
to the second one. To
That's
try
a
to,
great point. That
because
the
the
first
arc
one's not
runs.
enough to hook them to actually want to watch more.
It's a Tuesday release. That's nice.
You know what they should do?
Oh, wow.
They should do just to like throw like as much at it, just release it all at once.
Yeah.
At least if it's mid or bad or even great, it'll be all done and over with quickly.
They should. They
Instead
should just
of-
drop the whole thing.
But if it's good, then release it slow. So they're releasing it slow, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, well,
That's right.
well, you never know. But one thing we do know is we need to end this.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. We hope you had a great time. We had a lot of fun here. Let us know in the comments below, who do you think would win, the Mythosaur or the Krayt Dragon? And what beast do you want to see in the future? We went through a whole bunch of them in the game, so if you didn't watch the game, guess along with us. Let us know in the comment section how you did during the game. And if you beat us, there's definitely a high possibility we didn't do super great, but it's tough. And let us know what you guys think about the news that's coming out. Are you guys excited for any new projects coming out? Are you excited for the Skeleton Crew? Are you excited for the Mandalorian Grogu? We know we got Andor coming out next year. I think that's what I'm most excited for at this point. Let us know. We want to hear from you. We appreciate you guys being here, watching our show, helping out, and making it as awesome as it is, because you gonkers and you guys are the reason that we do this every week. So speaking of every week, make sure to come back next week, same time, same place. You never know what kind of crazy... Different month, yeah, for sure. You never know what kind of crazy things we're going to come up with and bring to you, hopefully in a fun, entertaining way. And help us to be better by letting us know what you liked and you didn't.
Countdown to Skeleton Crew.
Countdown to Skeleton Crew.
Coming soon.
Coming Skew.
That's right.
Skew?
It's coming
Skew.
soon. And we'll probably have a full crew for Skeleton Crew, right?
I hope so. I'm really hoping so. We'll have
Or
the
it'll
whole
be
crew back
skeleton
together.
crew here.
I know.
Might be a skeleton crew. We're
Just leaning into it.
oh man, that just gave me a hilarious
All right,
idea. I'll tell you off screen.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Any last thoughts, people? Dan, it's been great having you back.
It's been fun being back in my refereeing outfit.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I kept these two from beating each other up.
Yeah, well, he was getting lippy on me. I almost took him out, but
He was cute.
I'm
enough.
looking for the wide angle.
Oh,
so that
sorry.
They can,
There we go.
These two.
yeah, I usually control the camera. Sorry, I was not picking up what you were putting down. I only
guys.
saw red.
Yeah. You guys
I
are
painted it
awesome,
red.
all you gonkers. I keep watching. I've been following along, and if I don't watch it the night of, I listen back the next day. This is
Yeah.
a podcast after all, isn't it?
It is
Sure.
a podcast that
Yeah.
you can watch it and listen to it whenever. That's the fun part.
podcast show,
Yeah, it's vodcast,
a shotcast.
video podcast.
It's everybody's podcast is video now. Let's
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, it kind of is. So
We were the first, though.
I don't.
I don't think so.
We were so far ahead of the game.
Okay. Any last words, fact checker?
I think we should gonk out.
I think we should gong out. But yeah, thanks again, Dan, for being here. Fact checker as always. We can't wait to see you guys next week, same time, same place, and look out for new stuff coming out from us as well. You never know what you're going to get here on Stay on Target. We rarely do. So enjoy and have a great week. We'll catch you next time, but don't forget to always stay on target.
His name is Carl the Mighty Mythosaur.
And Don the Crazy Krayt Dragon. Beast mode, activate. Do some sort of scream like a. Can you do?